And the first quarter of Steelers football will be brought to you by Pittsburgh National Bank. Steelers won the toss and elected to receive. They're wearing their black jerseys tonight. White numerals, gold pants, and black helmets. New Orleans, the home ball club with white jerseys, gold pants, and gold helmets. Starting offensive lineup for Pittsburgh, Frank Lewis at wide receiver. The interior linemen, John Cole, Sam Davis, Ray Mansfield, Jim Clack, and Gordon Gravel. Larry Brown will go at tight end. The running back, Steve Davis, Delaware State, Franco Harris from Penn State. Wide receiver, Ronnie Shankman from North Texas State. And the homegrown product appearing here tonight as the starter, Jerry Bradshaw. 5-year veteran quarterback for the Steelers from Louisiana Tech, where he was just something else. And not with this ball club tonight, hospitalized in Pittsburgh, the Frenchman, the Count of Paris, Frenchie Fuqua, and Preston Pearson, two outstanding running backs, and both of them hospitalized following surgery at Divine Providence Hospital, and we do wish them a very speedy recovery. Very quickly running over the defensive unit tonight for New Orleans. Billy Newsom starts at left end. Bob Pollard will start at left tackle. Derlin Moore at right tackle, and Joe Owens at right end. The linebackers left to right, Jim Merlo, Joe Fetterspiel, and Wayne Coleman. Penny Jackson and Vivian Lee on the corners. Strong safety will be Johnny Fuller, and the free safety Tom Myers, who is back after an ankle injury. And out tonight, Jerry Moore, who is injured, and they have added Boyd Gray, a second-year man from Arizona, to their core of safety men. Myron Cope is on hand tonight, and as they have the symbolic tossing of the coin, he'll update you on late factors involved in this ball game in New Orleans.
Well, one late factor is Fats Holmes, or Arrowhead Holmes, as he now prefers to be called. He was laid down in a hospital with pneumonia, of course, a few days ago, a mild touch of pneumonia, and Fats cannot be expected to be at top strength tonight. Just how much Chuck Noll intends to use him remains to be seen, but Arrowhead Holmes did tell me upon arriving here in New Orleans yesterday that he still had some congestion in his chest and felt a little weak, so perhaps Noll will simply try to spot him tonight, but in any event, his backup man will be Steve Furness, and we pause now for the national anthem. That Steeler tackle situation on the defensive line is problematical. Steve Furness, filling in for Arrowhead Holmes at tackle, is probably at a position for which he is better suited than where he to have to fill at defensive end. He is listed, of course, as a backup man at both positions, tackle and end. So if the Steelers do need him, it's fortunate, I would think, that it's at the tackle position where he'll play. I do think he's a little better suited for that than he would be for defensive end. And as I said, it's just anybody's guess how much Arrowhead Holmes will play tonight. He does still have congestion, and he had that viral pneumonia, and he cannot be expected to be 100%. Jack?
Saints are going to kick off left to right, and Bill McQuarrie, who was injured in that automobile accident, a 5'10", 202-pounder from Arkansas, will kick off left to right. Steve Davis and Mel Blunt are deep for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ball is teed up at the 35-yard line below us to our left. And The kickoff will carry left to right across your radio dial, and McClard is ready to move forward. Here he comes, kicking it off, and it is end over end. Down to Blunt at the 4 on the far side, out over the 10 to the 15. It's the 20 to 25, driving through the 30, hit and brought down near the 35-yard line. Hit rather solidly on the far side of the field. Wayne Coleman and Greg Boyd were there to make the stop on him as he advanced the football just short of the 35-yard line. And the officials are going to spot it with its nose at the 34 at the far hash mark. 31-yard return of the kickoff for Mel Blunt of the Pittsburgh Steelers. First down and 10 yards to go. Now the slight advantage in running room will be to the left, and the Steelers will line up with Shanklin to the right to the far side. And they will bring Frank Lewis out to the left. Bradshaw's the quarterback. He fakes, goes deep to throw, has plenty of time, fires down the middle. Shanklin fakes it at the New Orleans 44-yard line, and immediately is followed by Ernie Jackson and knocked down. Penalty marker goes down on the play. Pass play carried to the New Orleans 44-yard line, and I started right out wanting to call him LSU.
Well, it was a doggone nice play on first down. The play action pass, the fake to the running back, and a beautiful toss down the middle, drilled it right on target.
Penalty against New Orleans is declined, and the Steelers have advanced on a Terry Bradshaw pass. Beautiful pass play to the New Orleans 44-yard line. The crowd chanting defense, defense. All right, they shift out of the I formation. Bradshaw handling the football, gives it to Franco. Tries the middle, he'll get a couple of yards. Not much running room in there as Billy Newsom plugged the gap. Newsom is a 6'5", 260-pounder in his fifth year from Grambling University. He advances the football to the New Orleans 42-yard line, and it's going to be second down and 8 yards to go.
The Steeler offensive line seems to do a good job of moving the New Orleans front four, but Franco did not make very much yardage on the play.
Ron Shanklin has now caught 18 passes on the season. One on a touchdown during the course of the campaign. Second down and 8. In the I formation. Bradshaw calling the signal. Gives the ball Steve Davis. Top of the I, crashes through the middle over the 40 and goes down near the 35-yard line. Steve Davis running into Joe Owens, the defensive right end of the New Orleans Saints. He's from Alcorn State, and he made the stop. And now we bring in a second tight end. It will be 3rd and 1. Randy Grossman is on, replacing Ron Shanklin. New Orleans makes an adjustment. Alex Price coming on to replace Joe Owens. And the ball is at the far hash mark. Pittsburgh in New Orleans territory at the 35.5-yard line. We got Lewis flanking right. The ends are both tight. Larry Brown and Randy Grossman. They shift out of the I formation. And here is Bradshaw keeping the football, running to the left, cutting back to the right. And at the 34-yard line, I believe he has the first down. He was felted rather solidly by Alex Price. May have been a broken play, I'm not certain. Bradshaw came to the left, kept the football, and then cut back, and he picks up the first down, the second one of the evening for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Funny thing happened down there. Defensive tackle Darlin Moore seemed to think that Bradshaw had given the ball off. Bradshaw had not. He still had it, and Darlin Moore, penetrating the backfield, ran right by Bradshaw. Could have knocked him down for a rod.
Ball is midway between the sideline stripes. New Orleans on the fence, throwing up a four-man front with linebackers. The linebacker pulled up tight on the left and the cornerback on the right. And the handoff to Franco. Gets a good block from Sam Davis, running to the right, then the blocking falls. As he cuts forward, he stopped after a short gain. Penalty marker down on the play, picked up about 2 yards, running to the right that time. Bob Pollard and Billy Newsom reacted beautifully on the play, and we got a holding call against the Steelers. That's going to cost us 15 yards. First one of the afternoon. Make that the first one of the night.
And that's kind of a bad, well, it's sure it's a bad situation, but especially so because in the kind of condition that the Steeler quarterbacks have been, that uncertainty, who's going to play, well, Terry Bradshaw coming out here, getting the assignment tonight, and promptly moving the team well, that figures to bolster his spirits and his sense of confidence, but now this penalty sets them back, so it may hurt Bradshaw as well as this drive. We'll have to see.
holding call, 10-yarder. They put the ball back at the 44-yard line, whereupon the wind picked it up and blew it about a yard before one of the officials tracked it down. This breeze is blowing stiffly. As we view the ball game, the wind is coming against the Steelers here in the opening period. They line up in the I formation, split end left, and flanker set out to the right side. Larry Brown is the tight end. And Bradshaw shifts him out of the I. Franco Harris to the right, Steve Davis to the left. Taking time, Terry drops back. Now firing out to the left to Frank Lewis. Pulls it in at the New Orleans 32.5-yard line. Steps out of bounds. Covered on the play by Vivian Lee, the right cornerback for the Saints. Vivian Lee, 6'3", 200-pounder from Prairie View in his 4th season in the NFL. Steelers have regained 10 yards on the play. In fact, 11. They moved the ball down to the 33-yard line. Bradshaw has now completed 2 out of 2 passes attempted. And it's going to be second down and about 9 yards to go at the Saints' 32.5-yard line. Saints wearing gold pants, white jerseys, black numerals, and gold helmets, and the Steelers with the black jerseys and gold pants. Bradshaw shifts them out of the I. Wide set for the Steelers, and Terry drops back deep. He's chased now, fires the screen pass to the right side. Franco running with the football over the 35, breaks the tackle, goes to the 30. Caught and brought down at the 29-yard line by Ernie Jackson. Screen form, the screen did not appear to be effective, but the running of Franco Harris was effective as he managed to pick up yardage on what appeared to be an almost lost play. Gets 4 yards on it. It will be third down now and 5 yards to go.
You know, funny thing, a lot of people holler that the Steelers don't throw enough to their backs, but I totaled up the figures the other day and found out that 38% of their completions have been to their running backs. So, who knows?
Bradshaw is 3 for 3 for 37 yards here in the early stages of the ball game. Steelers in Saints territory at the 29-yard line. Bradshaw on the long count. Drops back again. Cocks his arm. Now runs for the football to the 35, the 30, the far side, the 25, the 20, and heads out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Jerry Bradshaw, resourceful as always. Cornered on the far side of the field. Ernie Jackson was over there, and they chased him out of bounds. He stepped out at the 17.5-yard line. It will be a first down and 10 yards to go.
Bradshaw had great pass protection all day to throw that time, but he would have been foolish had he not run with the football because the entire far side of the field was devoid of Saints. There wasn't nobody over there, and he had a lot of running room.
Once again, Joe Owens comes off the field. Alex Price goes on for New Orleans in their defensive alignment. He sends Shanklin out to the right, bring Frank Lewis to the left. Line up in the I, shift Steve Davis off to the right side of the I formation. New Orleans stacking it up front. Here's a handoff to Franco, goes right, cuts back to the left, heads over the middle, is inside the 15, and goes down almost to the 12-yard line. Another beautiful job of running by Franco Harris as he headed slightly to the right. Made a sharp cut back, found the hole, and Jim Merlo finally found Franco and brought him down. Merlo, a second-year man from Stanford, and the football is very close to the 12-yard line. And it's going to be second down and 5 yards to go.
And Franco's still rolling, over 500 yards in his last 5 games.
Here the Steelers coming out of a huddle. Ray Mansfield goes over the football. Terry Bradshaw steps under center. Bradshaw backs up. Look, firing toward the end zone. Frank Lewis, leaping try at the goal line, unsuccessful, came down out of bounds. He caught the football, and he had the cornerback, Vivian Lee, right on him. He was right on him defensively, but he came down out of bounds, and it is an incomplete pass. Jim Merlo with the rush on Terry Bradshaw on the play, and Bradshaw had to get rid of it rather quickly. Lewis made a great catch, but came down out of bounds, incomplete, and that's the first pass we've missed tonight.
And my information was that the Steelers can work on cornerback Vivian Lee, and they've thrown twice in his direction to Frank Lewis, so perhaps that's what they're trying to do.
All right, it's a nothing ball game. About 4.5 minutes thrown off the clock in the first quarter at New Orleans. Wide set for the Steeler running backs, and Bradshaw. There's a blitz on a safety blitz. They get to him, and he fires intercepted at the goal line. Back out over the 5. Running laterally up to the 10, coming to the nearest side of the field and clearing that football. Ernie Jackson finally knocked down at the 12-yard line. Larry Brown made the tackle. The safety blitz on Bradshaw. Had to hurry his throw, got rid of the football. Intercepted right at the 1-yard line by Ernie Jackson. And and Jackson brings it all the way back out, running laterally along the 10, and finally brought down at the 12-yard line. And as far as Jackson is concerned, I'm looking for the interceptions here on their stat list. We'll catch up with you in just a moment on that. But it was a beautiful run, at least laterally, until he was finally knocked down at the 12. Joe Parker splitting to the left, and they line up as expected with a single running back, giving them. Now they send a man in motion. The guy to pitch back to the wing back. And that's Jeff Phillips running with the ball to the left, and he's going to gain no ground. Running to the far side, Mel Blunt came in and closed in on him. Hit him at the line of scrimmage, and he may have fallen forward for at least a yard.
Yes, the Steelers are expecting some sort of fancy stuff from the Saints tonight, and that time they were ready for it. On the interception, I don't think you can fault Bradshaw. He had to get rid of that ball before he wanted to, because nobody picked up the blitz. No blocker picked up the blitz, and he had to release the ball, and he didn't get it over that man's head at the 1-yard line.
Third interception for Jackson, and Tom Myers is the guy who had the great rush on Bradshaw for the safety blitz. Second down and 9 yards to go. Archie Manning is the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. And Manning is back to throw. Manning standing his ground. He's going to be sacked inside the 10-yard line. Joe Green and Steve Furness are there, and Mean Joe. Well, did he get to him first, or did Dwight White?
White and Furness.
Dwight White and Furness. And Dwight White got to him first, and he'll get credit for the sack. And the Steelers have racked up another sack.
They may split it up a half and half, Jack. I think you almost have to there, but it was a good rush on Archie Manning. And Steve Furness, of course, starting because Vance Holmes not up to par, had that bout with pneumonia last week, and also has a bruised thigh.
Well, if White gets full credit, that would be his 7th sack of the season. The ball is at the 10, third down, 12.5 yards to go. Manning drops back in. Look out, here they come. He runs straight ahead out of the pocket, and he sails for another loss. Joe Green got him this time. Fantastic rush by Dwight White, and also by L.C. Greenwood. It appeared they might get him within the 10-yard line. He stepped forward. He's caught at the 8. And the sack was finally recorded by Joe Green.
Yes, L.C. Greenwood very near. He nailed him back around the 2-yard line, but Archie avoided him, but Joe caught him. Already 2 sacks for the Steelers, 42 for the season. They lead the league.
Tom Blanchard, that did the punting, standing in the Saints end zone. Glenn Edwards and Lynn Swan are deep for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's the snap. Blanchard gets it away. Floating, coming down the 49-yard line. Swan straight over the 45, the 40. He is hit on a gigantic tackle at the 43-yard line, flipped like a 10-pin into the air. Swan is brought down, the tackle by John Coleman. The ball will be placed at the Saints' 36-yard line. We have a break in the action. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Eddie, and I'm wearing my very own official NFL Steelers sports shirt. Well, of course you can't see it because this is radio. And what you're not seeing here is a really clean white sports shirt with the Steelers emblem embroidered. This thing sits right here where I'm pointing. My dad got it for me free from Pittsburgh National Bank.
That's right, Eddie. And friends, you can get your free Steelers sports shirt by opening a regular passbook account with $500 or more at Pittsburgh National, or by adding $500 to your present account. You earn the highest savings deposit rate the banking law allows. Now, these shirts are available in a full range of adult and children's sizes, but you better hurry because our supply is limited.
My dad says he's glad his money is working for him at Pittsburgh National, but I'm just glad he got me this shirt.
Member FDIC.
A 41-yard punt by Tom Blanchard, an 11-yard return, and so far from what we've seen, I don't think the New Orleans kickers were hurt too badly in that automobile accident because on the kickoff, McCart booted it down to the Steelers' 3-yard line and rather high, too, and now Blanchard has punted 41 yards, so I guess those boys were not destroyed by that automobile accident yesterday morning.
Steelers ready to go at the Saints' 36-yard line. First down, 10. Running backs are Franco Harris and Steve Davis. And here's a handoff to Harris. Tries to get to the outside and pick up a couple of yards on the play. Billy Newsom was there to meet him. Saw one hole closed, tried to step outside at the 35, and it's brought down at the 34. Gain of about 2 yards. It will be second down and 8. Let me run over that defense for you again. Newsom, Pollard, Moore, Owens up front with Merlo, Fettersfield, and Coleman as the linebackers. Jackson and Vivian Lee on the corners, and Johnny Fuller and Tom Myers are the safeties. Steelers, Frank Lewis to the left, flanking right is Ron Shanklin. They shift Steve Davis to the right off the top of the eye. Bradshaw takes, gives it to Davis, sweep to the left side, and he is caught along the 33-yard line, struggles to the 32, and the tackle made by Don Coleman. Make that Wayne Coleman, the linebacker for the New Orleans Saints. Coleman, 7-year man from Temple, is the veteran of their linebacking corps, which has a lot of youth in it. Don Coleman will back him up, a former defensive end, a rookie from Michigan. And so Wayne Coleman gets that tackle. The ball is marked at the 31-yard line, third down and 5 yards to go. So the Steelers face third and long yardage play. They line up. Larry Brown is the tight end. Shanklin, wide to the right is the flanker. Split left is Frank Lewis. And they shift out of the eye to set back to wide. Bradshaw takes. Bradshaw is deep. Bradshaw is looking lots of time. Fires. There's his man Lewis at the 11, over the 10, the 5. Touchdown Pittsburgh. Lewis running the pattern down and in. Puts the ball on the run at the 11-yard line. Cutting to the far side of the field over the 5. Goes into the end zone. And the pass play goes from Terry Bradshaw to Frank Lewis. It covers 31 yards downfield. And for Lewis, it is his 25th catch of the season and his 4th touchdown catch.
And he caught that ball right in front of Tommy Myers, a well-regarded safety man. Left Myers sprawled on his face and pulled it to the end zone.
All right, here is Girello with the point after try. It is up into the wind. It is good. Steelers have the lead, 7-0, and with a break in the action, we'll be right back.
Friends, this is Al Allen. Now you can get an official NFL sports shirt, the same shirt worn by the Steeler players and coaches, free from Pittsburgh National Bank. Just deposit $500 in a regular passbook account. You earn the highest savings deposit rate the banking law allows. The shirts are available in a full range of adult and children's sizes, and we'll mail your shirt right to your home. But hurry, our supply is limited. Come into any of our convenient offices and open a new account or add to your present one today. So whether your game is football, golf, or just looking handsome.
Pardon me, sir. Are you a professional football player?
Get your official NFL Steelers sports shirt from Pittsburgh National. After all, everyone plays a better game with money in the bank. Remember, FDIC.
Saints ready to receive with the smallest man in the NFL, Howard Stevens, 5'5", 165 pounds, second-year man from Louisville Deep, along with Maurice Spencer, a 6-footer from North Carolina Central. Bradshaw is 4 for 6 passing with 1 interception. He's totaled 68 yards and 1 touchdown. And running, he's carried twice for 14 yards. So we have got Stevens and Spencer deep. And Girella kicking off for Pittsburgh. They're high, coming down to the 13-yard line, out over the 20, the 25, the 30, driving forward. It's Howard Stevens with the football. An exciting little player coming up short of the 35-yard line. And the tackle for the Steelers made by Lauren Cave. And New Orleans back in business at its own 33.
You realize that guy's no taller than I am? 5'5"? I wonder what would happen if Lauren Page hit me.
I wonder what would happen if you ran into that young man by the name of Howard Stevens.
Well, it's probably just as bad.
Okay, New Orleans out of the huddle. Archie Manning, 4-year veteran from Ole Miss, is the quarterback. And they're wide with 2 men to the right. They've got a wingback set to the right side, and now he's in motion. They flip a quick pass out to Joe Parker. Man in motion, moving out to a wide position. He takes it. Goes forward over the 35 and up to the 40-yard line. Steve Burnett makes the stop. Furness and Shirley Davis slated to play in place of Ernie Holmes tonight. Archie Manning trying his first pass and completing it. Gains 8 yards, second down 2. Lawrence Hayes has replaced Jack Ham at linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now let's see what they're going to do. Joe Parker goes wide to the left. They bring Bob Newland out to the right, and they're using 2 regular setbacks. Pittsburgh with a 5-man front, basically. Manning on the long count. Gives a deep handoff back here to Jeff Phillips. No, check that one. Alvin Maxson, the rookie from SMU, and he's nailed running to the left along the 37-yard line. Andy Russell made the stop. Dwight White on the rush. Great play.
Great play by Dwight White. Just leaped in there, flew through the air. Tremendous quickness. Did not make the tackle, but knocked the guy off balance for Andy Russell to make the stop.
Yeah, I'd say that's a big play when they are second and 2. Now they come up and look at a 3rd and 6. And they deploy Bob Newland to the left, bring Joe Parker to the right. Running backs are Maxson and Phillips. Archie Manning fakes. He's back to throw. And here it is to the near side, and it is incomplete. Somebody got a hand on it, I believe, intended. On the near side of the field, Alvin Maxson. Dwight White again with a great rush. And the 4-year man from East Texas State doing a fine job. It's 4th down for New Orleans.
Dwight White has not been having as big a year as he has had in the past. So, and he has, of course, been bothered by a bad foot this year. A very painful bruised heel. But perhaps he's come around and is determined to show them what Dwight White is like, what he used to be like and can be again.
Joe Green had a hand on that ball, deflecting that pass. Tom Blanchard in front formation, kicked the 41-yarder the last time. Swan and Edwards downfield, wobbly, coming into Lynn Swan at the 24. He's out over the 30, going to the sideline at the 35, slips and goes down and covered at the 36-yard line. Lost his footing, making a cut on the artificial turf across the way. Lynn Swan was immediately covered by Maurice Spencer. And Steelers football continues after this brief timeout.
The Pitt-Penn State game Thursday night is sold out, but there are plenty of 50-yard line seats at Buddy's in Market Square. The only place on time for a 50-yard line seat to watch the Pitt-Penn State game on Buddy's Advent Video Beam life-size television from Opus One. And after the game, join in the fun with the Good Time Clothes Horse Coach Joe Avizano. Remember, too, weekdays, Buddy's is a pleasant place to lunch and enjoy a libation. Buddy's, the only place to be after every game, or for lunch. Buddy's in Market Square.
Jack Fleming with Myron Cope at Tulane Stadium in New Orleans. We'll be back after this pause on the Steelers Football Network.
Mike McGann here, hoping you'll be listening each evening as I play your requests from now and then.
In the 10 minutes that have elapsed in this ball game, the Saints have had the ball twice. They have not been able to record a first down. The Steelers defense has been superb, and of course the Steelers lead 7-0 thanks to a 31-yard touchdown pass. Terry Bradshaw hitting Frank Lewis at the 12-yard line, approximately the 12, I do believe, and Lewis holding to the corner of the end zone and making it. So the Steelers so far have dominated this ball game thoroughly. Terry Bradshaw, playing in his native state, Louisiana, is looking very crisp, throwing the ball beautifully. He threw one interception, but that's because he had to hurry the pass under a blitz. Okay, here goes Bradshaw again.
Lining them up in sight. High formation shifting. Steve Davis to the right off the eye. Flanker set to the right side. Here's the handoff to Franco Harris. Fires it off the right side. He'll get about 2 yards. Advancing the football to the 38-yard line. Jim Merlo, 225-pound left side linebacker from Stanford, makes the stop. And Franco picks up 2 yards, and it will be second down and 8 yards to go for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They lead 7-0 in the ball game, and we have 4:45 remaining to play in the opening period. Nice to have you with us tonight as we bring you the play-by-play coverage from Tulane Stadium in New Orleans. Over 70,000 on hand. Running backs are set wide, ends are tight. Flanker right for the Steelers. Now they shift and bring Franco Harris directly in behind the quarterback, taking a lot of time. Rule out. Bradshaw, right side of the 40, and is missed on the tackle, goes out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Bradshaw, Ernie Jackson, and Jim Merlo pursuing, stepped away from Jackson. Merlo cornered him, sent him out of bounds. Gordon Gravel blocking that time, the third-year man from Brigham Young. And the ball is at the 41-yard line where it is going to be 2nd and 5.
It's solid block by Gordy Gravel, and I thought Bradshaw would make even more yardage. What was Gravel doing such a nice job on the far side, but it's 3rd and 5 yards to go.
This time we got Shanklin wide to the right, splitting Frank Lewis to the left. Bradshaw will pass. Swing pass left side off the fingertips to Steve Davis. It is incomplete. Coming up and trying for an interception was linebacker Wayne Coleman of the Saints. He cannot hold it either. Pass ball's incomplete. And Bobby Walden will come on for the first time tonight. He'll be kicking into a pretty stiff breeze.
It was a good play. Bradshaw in the quick pass throwing out to Steve Davis, who just couldn't hold the football.
Stevens, Spencer, and Parasopoulos are deep for the New Orleans Saints. And here is Walden punting the football, getting into the wind, coming down short, bouncing, picks off at the 21-yard line, and Spencer gives ground back behind the 20, coming to the right, that is Stevens, and he's brought down at the 19-yard line. You can see the ball attain its height and then hit the wind and then come down, and very tough to handle. Reggie Garrett made the stop as they gave ground after the reception. And the ball was spotted finally at the 21-yard line. A 39-yard punt for Bobby Walden.
Reggie Garrett, incidentally, is playing against his brother tonight. Not head-to-head against him. They're both receivers. Len Garrett is a tight end for the New Orleans Saints. He's Reggie's older brother.
All right, this time we're going to send Bob Newland out to the left, putting a man in the slot. Paul Steele, not to make that Jess Phillips. Bring him in close now. Now they bring him in motion. And the give is to the one setback, and Alvin Maxson drives forward over the 20, back to the 21. He may pick up a yard out to the 22-yard line, sort of submarining under the pile-up of black jerseys. Steve Furness made the stop. Keep in mind that Furness is in there for Arrowhead Holmes. Been racked up with a virus all week long.
Yes, actually viral pneumonia, and Pats is just not up to par yet, but I suspect we may see some of them tonight.
2nd down and 8 yards to go. Wide men in either direction, 2 setbacks, and a big draw, and now Manning throwing, and the pass is incomplete at the 41-yard line. Intended for Bob Newland off his fingertips. J.T. Thomas covered the play for the Steelers. Pass was incomplete. Archie Manning, throwing the football for the New Orleans Saints, is 1 for 3 on the night so far. He's backed up by Larry Sippa. We saw Sippa quarterback in the club in the preseason game, a rookie. Bobby Scott is another of their backup quarterbacks. And as Myron talked about it earlier, Manning had been involved in a squabble down here. They thought he might try to jump to the World Football League. Here's Manning throwing, almost intercepted by Mel Blunt. Sending the pass for Joe Parker, too high at the 35-yard line for Blunt, who went up in the air for the football. Now we're getting a penalty marker down on the play. Defensive holding against the Steelers. That will cost Pittsburgh 5 yards and a first down. New Orleans will get its initial first down of the ball game, and the Steelers will be hit with their second penalty, total of 15 yards. Moves the football forward to the 27, 1st and 10.
Well, it's a good thing Mel Blunt didn't intercept that pass, because it would have been racist. So they make Mel Blunt feel better, but he had a good crack at an interception.
Howard Stevens is in replacing Jess Phillips. And they set Stevens up in the slot post on the left side. Now they bring him in motion. Pitch back to him. The speedy little guy running to the right side. Hit hard at the 25 and slammed to the artificial turf. Tackle was made by Jack Lambert. But the runner was pretty well cornered by a fine defensive effort by the Steelers. L.C. Greenwood had cut him off at the pass, about a 2.5-yard loss on the play. Second down and 12.5 yards to go. Now that is the same fellow running with the football that we told you. 5'5", 165 pounds. No bigger than Myron. What's your weight?
I'm 138 soaking wet.
Well, he's got a little weight on you anyway. They put him in a close slot to the left side. Manning is back to throw, firing to Stevens and saw off his fingertips. He went up to 29 with one hand, could not pull it in. Andy Russell came up to cover. All of a sudden, Stevens becomes a vital weapon in their offense. Saints rushing 6 times for 8 yards. Times for a -8 yards.
Steeler defense is just superb tonight. And that play that Stevens went in motion on and took the ball, actually they were running out of a double wing that time, which they will frequently show.
Warren Taves replaces Steve Furness, giving his 4 linebackers. Lambert stunning a little, now dropping back, and the handoff is given to Alvin Maxson. He finds running room straight up the middle of the 35 and up the 40-yard line. Finally stopped by Glenn Edwards, the free safety. Going to spot the football about a half yard short of the 40 at the 39.5-yard line. 14-yard gain for the New Orleans Saints. Alvin Maxson, rookie from SMU, carried the ball. Second first down tonight for New Orleans. And now Furness is back in, replacing Lawrence Hayes. They're having trouble keeping the football located. The wind is blowing it around. Saints are ready to go now. 7-0 in favor of the Steelers. High formation. Manning gives to the top of the eye, and this is Jess Phillips. Plowing ahead for about 3 yards. He'll be to the 42-yard line. The end cover the football. Center of the Steeler defense. Anchored by Dwight White, Mike Wagner making the stop. And the ball is at the 42.5-yard line. Second down and about 7 yards to go. They pick up 3 yards. Phillips is a 7-year veteran from Michigan State. 6'1", 210-pounder. Saints break out of the huddle. Thompson, Stupp, Gideon, Rachley, and Morrison are the interior linemen. Paul Steele is their tight end, a rookie from Michigan. And here it is. Look out, they may pass the football. Given to Joe Parker on the end around. He can find no one to throw to, and he is caught and thrown. Back at the 36-yard line, Jack Lambert and Joe Green make the stop. So a deep handoff coming left to right. Had his arm cocked. Parker wanted to get rid of the football. The rookie from Florida was trapped and brought down. And the loss takes the ball back to the 37-yard line.
Well, it's not a quarterback sack, but it's a sack, I guess. I don't know. You get credit for a sack on that, Jack?
I don't believe so, in as much as he did hand off. He had an option of either running or passing, so it developed into, I guess, a running play.
He was
looking.
Looking to throw. I don't know.
Ball is back at the 37. Third down and 13. Now this time Archie Manning takes the draw. He's deep to throw and fires down the near side. Look out! Too high at the Pittsburgh 39-yard line for Bob Newland. Newland wide open. They're getting the receivers open, and Manning having difficulty hitting his target. Archie, 1 for 5 passing for a total of 8 yards tonight. As we warm up tonight to Gary Gerson's statistics, we'll be able to keep you even better abreast of the ball game. It's a game I've only seen him twice this year because it gives me a little bit of time to interpret them. Tom Blanchard punting, and that's an odd-looking thing. Punting low trajectory, hit for the wind now, picked up at the 25. There's Lynn Swan over the 30, the 35, and finally wrestles the ground at the 37-yard line. That ball is doing some tricks on punts. That one came up on a low trajectory. You could visibly see it drop as the wind seemed to get hold of it, and it came down. Swan picked it up and made the return. A 12-yard return on a 38-yard punt, and the ball is at the 37.5-yard line.
Maybe that's happened.
Whatever it is that's happening, I hope it continues. Ends it tight. Steelers in the second quarter moving left to right. Got Shanklin flanked to the near side of the right of Bradshaw. Pitches out to Steve Davis, and he is hit at the 42-yard line, and he was zeroed in on by Billy Newsom. What a lick. Newsom, 5-year veteran from Grambling, 6'5", 260 pounds. And he hit him like you might hit the tackling dummy in practice. Good, solid lick. It will be third down now, and 6 yards to go for the Steelers.
And I wonder if this time Terry Bradshaw won't try to work on Vivian Lee again, cornerback Vivian Lee.
We have Cole, Davis, Mansfield, Clack, and Gravel in the interior line, shifting out of the I formation. Here's Bradshaw back to throw, firing, and it is picked off, intercepted inside the 45-yard line, and immediately Tom Myers, who made the interception, goes down. He's trying to hit Franco Harris, threw in behind him. Jerry Mullins made the grab, and Myers came up with the interception. Now on the season for Myers, that is his third interception, boosting the Saints' total for the season to 15. It is the second interception of the night off Bradshaw. Saints in good field position at the Pittsburgh 44. All right, 7-0 ball game. Wingback set to the left side, Jess Phillips, single running back, and they give the ball to Maxson, and he finds running room up the middle over the 40 and down to the 35 and onto the 34-yard line. Jack Ham makes the tackle. Alvin Maxson, single, running back, set back there. He may have a first down. They're going to call time to measure at the Pittsburgh 34-yard line. 10 yards he gained on that play, equaled almost the entire output of the Saints offense, 11 yards in the opening period.
Big hole over the left side of the Steeler line that time, and the Saints, well, coming off that electrifying interception, and that's what it was, with Myers folding up to make it, and the Saints are alive.
I get a definite feeling that the Saints' bread and butter offense without the razzle-dazzle was much more effective than their wide stuff and their end-arounds and their run-and-pass options and that sort of thing.
That may very well be the case, Jack.
All right, now that they will spread our defense for this type of thing. Joe Parker goes to the right, and they bring Paul Highland to the left. They've got two running backs set up. Archie Manning is the quarterback. It is a short yardage play, and he gives that ball off to Jess Phillips, running to the left, and he's cut out at the 30 by Mike Wagner, falls at the 29-yard line, and have a first down. So they came outside that time with Mike Wagner making the stop. Saints pick up their third first down. And we were right at the top of this stadium in some sort of a metal and wood radio facility that just shivers and shakes with this crowd. It's the weirdest feeling I've ever had.
Well, it's a very noisy stadium, too, especially when they start stamping out there.
We sit here, it's like sitting on top of a vibrator. It just vibrates the whole game. All right, they've got a double wing situation with a man split to the right and a single running back. Now they bring a wing back in motion, and they pitch the ball back there. Look out, they're in trouble. Like I told you, Jess Phillips goes down. And there it is, getting away from the bread and butter stuff, and they have lost back to the 35-yard line as White White and Andy Russell. The Pittsburgh Steelers appear to be perfectly geared to meet anything that they do from that wide stuff. And that time, they brought that wing back in motion to the left, pitched it back to him, and there were Steelers all over him as they faced second down and 16.
I asked Chuck Noll before the game if he would have to put in special defenses for this razzle-dazzle offensive material, and he said no. We don't do anything different. We just do it right and we'll stop it.
Ball is at the 35 now to second down and 16. All right, this time Bob Newland goes wide to the right, and they put a man in the spot ball seal out there, and now Manning rolling right. Look out, he's keeping to the 35 to the far side, the 30, and goes out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Chased out over there by Jack Ham. Archie Manning running with the football, brings it back down to the Pittsburgh 29-yard line. And it's going to be third down and 10 yards to go for New Orleans in Pittsburgh territory, and the Steelers lead at 7-0.
With 11 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the second period.
Ball is marked in at the far hash mark. And the Steeler defense getting set. Joe Green talking momentarily with Dwight White. And now they await the Saints coming back to the line of scrimmage, and here's New Orleans. Wide man to the left is Bob Newland. Man in the slot on the left side with a single running back, and now they split Parker out further to the right. Very wide in both directions. Archie Manning on the long count, drops straight back. The rush is on now. He runs out of the pocket there after him. Here's Green making a diving stab at him at the 25. A flag downfield. Joe Green gets him. He falls at the 24-yard line. But downfield on the far side of the field at the 17-yard line, a penalty marker is down. So something has been detected, and possibly against the Steelers. And it is defensive holding against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That will cost us 5 yards and a first down. New Orleans gets its fourth first down of the evening, and 2 of them have been on defensive holding calls.
And Archie Manning is learning something about the speed of the Steeler front four. Repeatedly, when Archie has had to scramble, those big Steeler linemen have been able to run him down, as Dwight White did that time. But White's great play went for naught because the holding penalty gives the Saints the first down at the 19.
All right, the Saints lining up in the I. Alvin Max in the inside back. Jess Phillips at the top of the I. Slot left formation. Archie Manning giving it off to Phillips, and he is nailed beautifully. Fine defensive play by Andy Russell at the 22-yard line. Let's see where they spot the football. Lost for about 3 yards. It's going to be second down and 13 yards to go for the New Orleans Saints at the Pittsburgh 22-yard line.
And that holding call, we understand, was against Jack Ham, Steeler linebacker Jack Ham. So the Saints now facing second down and 12 yards to go at the 22 of the Steelers.
Phillips now has 5 carries. He is net at 0 yardage. Flanker right, split end left, and Manning drops back. Now Manning runs to the right. Manning still looking there after him. He fires, almost intercepted. What's the ruling? Right on the sideline, a diving catch. Now let's see what the ruling is going to be. Jack Ham made the diving catch on the far side of the field. It's Pittsburgh's ball. Jack Ham made a diving catch. Alvin Maxson was the intended receiver. And the Steelers take over. For Ham, his 4th interception of the season. The Steelers' interception total is up to 21. We have a break in the action, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
What makes the crisis in the Steelers? Number 1, take it from me, Mary Jean. It's because they've got America's best-selling small car line. From the Stallions, Justice, and Scam. Why are these cars so popular? Well, maybe it's because you can get so many people in them. Or get so much in the trunk. Or get so many miles to a gallon. Whatever the reason, when you see our new little Plymouth, we know the reaction we're going to get.
Pick up your Steeler booster kit containing bumper stickers, Steeler schedule, and Steeler media guide from your Steeler Lane Chrysler Plymouth Steeler.
So Jack Ham is given the interception. There was some question as to whether he was in bounds when he made it, and there was considerable indecisiveness, I thought, on the part of the officials. I didn't see anybody make a prompt ruling on the play, but ultimately they did give the ball to the Steelers, and they'll now start at their own 22-yard line. It was a diving interception by Ham. He left his feet on the far side of the field, and I just wouldn't want to hazard a guess as to whether that was a good call or not. Luke Craig says it was a good call, so it's a good call. But the crowd doesn't think so.
Pittsburgh has the football, and the natives in New Orleans are restless. Steelers at their own 22. Bradshaw, with great noise in the stadium, goes ahead. Myers takes the handoff, rolls out to the left of the 25 to 30 to 35 to 40 to 45 to 50. Cut from behind and brought down at the same 46-yard line. Gary Bradshaw went against the crowd and finally was brought down by Vivian Lee, the cornerback to the far side of the field. And that time, Pittsburgh advanced the football from its own 22 to the New Orleans 46-yard line. And that's a gain of 32 yards. Rushing yardage going to Bradshaw, Pittsburgh's 5th first down of the night.
And it's twice tonight that he's run that play, Bradshaw has. He had to really call signals at the top of his voice to make himself heard over the buoy. He faked beautifully to Franco and took off with the football and made big yardage.
Bradshaw 4 carries, 49 yards, is back deep to pass. They're after him. They've got him. He breaks through to it. They got him good. In pursuit, Billy Newsom had him, and Terry appeared to be ready to break loose, and Newsom put the grab on him even as Jalen Moore closed in. So that is a sack for New Orleans, and it takes the football back to the Pittsburgh 42.5-yard line. Terry was very deep as he set up the pass, and the loss, 10, 11, 12 yards for the Steelers. And the New Orleans Saints come up with a sack tonight. So there's been one against both sides.
And the Steelers averaging only one sack per ball game. That is their offensive line. So maybe New Orleans has had their allotment for the night. Let's hope so.
New Orleans with a 4th linebacker in there, Rich Middleton. Got a 3-man rush. And here's the ball carried downfield. Franco Harris. And he is over the 50 and down to the 45-yard line. Tom Myers made the stop. And that time, as they set up to defend against the pass, they went to Franco Harris, and the great running back from Penn State brings it back to the New Orleans 45-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 10.
Good call. They shot Franco right up the middle, fooled the Saints, and Franco made up the yardage that Bradshaw lost when he was sacked on first down.
13-yard gain as they switch personnel. They take a linebacker out and throw a defensive lineman back in. They're in a 4-man front once again. 3rd and 10. Pittsburgh at the New Orleans 45. New Orleans almost offside. Got back. Now Bradshaw's back to throw. The rush is on. Green pass left side to Franco. He's trapped. And now he gets the block, comes over the 50 and out of bounds at the New Orleans 49-yard line. Loss of 4 yards on the play. Jim Merlo made the stop. Jerry Mullins was out there trying to protect him. But it was a hopeless job. Saved him about 5 yards as he got back to the 49-yard line. And it is going to be 4th down now and 14 yards to go.
Terry Bradshaw now 5 for 9, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass.
Bobby Walden in punt formation. New Orleans set up deep. Howard Stevens is the deep man, and Walden kicks it with the wind very high. Stevens backs up, takes it at the 6, gives ground behind the 5. He's hit, struggles forward. He's back up to the 6 or 7 yard line. The little guy gave ground behind the 5 and finally got back to the 6 or 7 yard line. Reggie Garrett, Ed Bradley were down there to bring him down. We have a break in the action, and we'll be right back.
That's your Chrysler Plymouth Steelers, telling you we've got America's #1 selling small car. The reason? Our valiant Chesterton stamp. But we don't stop there. We've got the new small Fury, Fury Sport. Brand new styling in the smallest Fury package. And Cordoba, our new small Chrysler. That's right, small Chrysler. And our full-size Chryslers have some great new looks, too. So come on in to your Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Pick up your Steeler booster kit containing bumper stickers, Steeler schedule, and Steeler media guide from your Steeler and Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Beautiful punt by Bobby Walden, 44 yards and very high so that the coverage was down there, and Howie Stevens, only 5 feet 5, filled it by about 5 tacklers. He made a 1-yard return. The Saints in the hole at their 6-yard line. The Steeler defense, famous for scoring points itself, has an opportunity now.
New Orleans right to left. at the St. 6-yard line. Archie Manning is the quarterback. 2 running backs. And he gives the ball to Alvin Maxson, and Maxson plugs straight ahead. He'll pick up a couple of yards, bring it to the 9-yard line. Punt carried downfield 44 yards. There was a 1-yard return. And now the Saints advance to 2 yards. Steve Furness makes the stop. Furness goes 6'4", 255. Third-year man from Rhode Island. Playing in place of Ernie Holmes. Second down, 8 yards to go. Saints with flanker to the right, split end to the left. And the give is again to Maxson. Very little running room. Brought down at the 10-yard line. And they uncover the ball. And down at the bottom of it, Furness, Joe Green, L.C. Greenwood had a shoulder over in the play. The ball will be spotted at the 11. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
Steve Furness playing opposite Jake Cupp, offensive guard Jake Cupp, an 11-year man, a former teammate at Washington of Ray Mansfield, and Furness is holding his own.
Here's a pitch out to the right side. Jess Phillips running with the football, turns the corner at the 10, dives forward over the 15. He'll have a first down, I believe. Very close to it as he was tracked down running to the far side of the field by Jack Ham. Left side linebacker of the Steelers. Let's see what they do with the football. They have called time, and it's going to require a measurement as the sticks are brought in a short distance at the far side of the field. Peering intently at the football over there. What is the decision? It is short by an inch. We're going to pause now for station identification.
I'm Tom Lyons, and I'm right here every night at midnight to keep you company all night long.
WTAE Pittsburgh.
New Orleans is ready to go in the punt formation, and the Saints are going to be kicking against some kind of a wind. Tom Blanchard will be their punter, and we go deep with Glenn Edwards and Lynn Swan. Blanchard standing at his own 2-yard line, awaiting the snap of the football. Big, strong wind against him. He takes his time, gets an extra step, kicks a low trajectory. Good kick. All the way down to the 35. Swan takes it. Splits, ball goes down, gets up, and the play is whistled dead. Swan went down. Apparently, one Saint diving in there tabbed him, and Maurice Spencer going to get credit for the tackle. Now let's see, they come up officially with Don Coleman. 50-yard punt against the wind. And now a clipping penalty to be marked off against the Steelers. A 15-yarder from the 34-yard line back to the 19th. We're running into some kind of misfortune with penalties tonight. 35 yards total. And it reminds me of the fiasco I watched at Blacksburg, Virginia Saturday afternoon after West Virginia taking a 22-21 lead with about a minute and a half or less to go. And the officials in that time hit the Mountaineers with 3 15-yarders, Myron. 3 of them. I'll have to tell you more about that later. Some kind of an afternoon at the 19-yard line. Bradshaw handing off, and the Steelers plowing straight ahead. Franco Harris, the ball carrier, to the 24-yard line. Billy Newsom at the bottom of the play for the New Orleans Saints, and Franco will pick up a solid 5 yards, second down and 5 to go.
Well, the Saints really got out of that bad hole with that punt, 50-yarder by Blanchard, and then the penalty of 15 yards, so they got out of a lot of trouble there.
Indication there that if you keep the ball low against this wind down in the depths of this big stadium, you may not get into as much trouble as if you kick it high. Here's Bradshaw stopping short, firing open, man's off the football. Larry Brown at the 44-yard line, right open down the middle, and he leaps into the air and kicks his feet in disgust. 4-year veteran from Kansas had going wide open, straight down the middle. The pass appeared to be on the money, and he couldn't hold it, and it falls incomplete.
Well, Larry is just beside himself with disgust because not only was the ball right there, not only was he wide open, but he had ample running room out ahead of him. The play, I'm sure, would have gone for at least 30 yards, maybe a lot more.
Bradshaw has hit 5 out of 10 passes, 2 interceptions, 64 yards, and 1 touchdown thus far. Here is Terry back deep. Terry throws, and it is broken up. Larry Brown at the 35 had it there, and hooking an arm around him, Vivian Lee. There was no indication from the official of dropping a flag for pass interference, but I believe that Larry Brown felt he had been interfered with.
I thought it was good defense, actually, Jack. The guy managed to work his arm over Larry Brown's elbow there, get in from behind him, and made a beautiful play, Vivian Lee did.
Howard Stevens deep. Chris Barasopoulos and Maurice Spencer back there. Bobby Walden standing at his own 11-yard line. Snap of the football. The punt carries left to right, and Walden gets away a boomer. And that's going to take Howard Stevens back to his own 22. Gives ground behind the 20, coming to the near side, cutting up the sideline over the 25 to the 30, and throw it under at the 32. Lost the football out of bounds. Of no effect whatsoever on the play. Steve Davis and Ed Bradley over to make the stop, along with Steve Burnett. Steelers football continues after this brief timeout.
With the wind at his back, Bobby Walden booms the ball 52 yards. The return is for 9 yards. The Saints take over first down at their own 32-yard line. And the score, of course, is 7-0 the Steelers. The Saints thus far, and there are 6 minutes remaining in this first half, the Saints have not been able to mount much of an offense at all. As Jack has pointed out, the Steelers seem very well prepared for the razzle-dazzle that the Saints repeatedly have tried to throw at them in the form of rather unusual formations, a double wing, and lots of deep stuff, the deep handoffs, deep pitch, and that sort of thing. But the Steeler defense has been up to it.
One offense with 6:01 to play in the first half. Steelers leading 7-0. New Orleans at its own 32-yard line. Double wing back with a split end out to the left side and a single running back. And now the wing back, Jess Phillips, goes in motion. A handoff straight ahead, Jerry Alvin Maxson. And he picks up yardage. Penalty marker goes down. Brought the ball up to the 36.5-yard line. A gain of about 5 yards. Get a holding call against New Orleans. That will be the first penalty on the Saints tonight. L.C. Greenwood made the tackle. 6-year veteran from Arkansas A&M. And a 10-yard mark-off coming up against the New Orleans Saints. Officials are bouncing the ball around. Cannot dribble a football. It's the wrong shape. Now he has it marking off 10. Takes it back to the 21-yard line. Holding. First penalty against New Orleans. So the Saints are looking at first down and 20 yards to go at their own 21-yard line. And let's see what they've got in that interior line. Paul Steele is still playing the tight end position. Joe Parker, a wide receiver. Thompson, Cup, Gideon, Raisley, and Morrison in the interior line. And here's a draw, handoff, and we got him. Alvin Maxson coming ahead is nailed short of the line of scrimmage. Joe Green was there and waiting. And they will give him the 20-yard line for a loss of a yard. Back to the 20-yard line at second down at 21 yards to go. A draw handoff, and Alvin Maxson had nowhere to go on that one. Joe Green was waiting. Jess Phillips comes off the field. Saints come out of the huddle. Steele is set up to the slot to the left inside Bob Newland. Joe Parker is out to the right. A single running back set up all alone. And Archie Manning drops back to throw. Manning chased out of the pocket, now throwing. Finds an open man. Intercepted by Andy Russell at the 30-yard line. The pass was intended for Johnny Beasley, inserted in for a running back, and Andy Russell made the interception at the New Orleans 30-yard line. Archie Manning was under pressure. Thus far tonight, he has not reacted well under pressure. Andy Russell comes up with the interception. The second one tonight for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And for Andy Russell, his first one of the season.
And Archie Manning has been very inaccurate tonight. He has not been around the mark. And that time he was short with the pass and an easy interception for Russell.
Manning is 1 for 7, 2 interceptions. He's gained 8 yards. Ball ball is at the 30.5-yard line, and here's Bradshaw. Deep handoff to Steve Davis coming off the left side, rambles to the 25 and goes down to the 22-yard line. Steve Davis getting off the left side with a block from Jerry Mullen, planning toward the sideline until he ran into Tom Myers, who brought him down. Now, Andy Russell's interception is the 22nd of the season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and as we told you, Russell's first of the year. Gain of about 8 yards on the running play by Steve Davis. Randy Grossman has replaced Larry Brown at tight end. Larry Bradshaw, the quarterback, on second down 2 at the New Orleans 22. 4:30 to play in the first half. Here's a handoff, fake. Bradshaw has the ball, running to the right. And he's going to keep running over the 20, the 15, down to the 10, and out of bounds on the near side of the field at the 10-yard line. Jim Marlowe chased him out of bounds. And you can see the blockers waiting for a decision from Bradshaw. And out there was Mike Webster amidst the group of other Pittsburgh Steelers looking to see what Terry's decision would be, and he carries it down to the 10-yard line. First down.
My, yeah. I'm saying to myself, run, Terry, run. That whole near side of the field was open there, and you wanted the first down, of course. That was the important thing, and he got it with room to spare.
Terry Bradshaw, back in his home state, down here where he has a little ranch of his own, a little quiet spot to cut hay, grow a few animals. Bradshaw gives it off to Franco. Franco meets resistance. Just off the right side, we'll get a couple of yards to the 8. Derlin Moore and Bob Pollard in at the bottom of the play. The Saints defense in the middle, very tough that time. And the ball is marked at the 8-yard line. It's going to be second down and 8 to go. It appears, and I could be wrong, as though the sticks are short of the goal line, like you might pick up a first down inches short of the goal line. Once you get down that close, it's not likely you need it. Here's Frank Lewis to the left, Shanklin flanking right. Pittsburgh leading 7-0. 3:40 to play in the second quarter. Bradshaw takes, gives it to Steve Davis, cutting outside to the left. He's helped. He's over the 5. He's down to the 3-yard line. And knocked down. Jim Merlo and Joe Fetterspiel were over there. And Davis appeared to be stopped short of the 5 and put his way over the 5. And finally comes down at the 3-yard line. Going to be third down and 3 yards to go. Shanklin is out of the ball game, and Larry Brown comes back as the second tight end. And here they are hurrying people onto the field. Got Alex Price and Don Coleman coming on. Cornerback Vivian Lee and safety man Tom Myers coming off. We shifted another man with Doris going in to replace Johnny Fuller. And they've got their goal line defense in there. 3rd and 3. Bradshaw rolling right. Bradshaw throwing touchdown. Franco on the near side of the field, and the penalty marker goes down. Can you believe that? Franco Harris caught it for the touchdown, and the penalty marker is going to be thrown against Randy Grossman. Interference against the Pittsburgh Steelers. If I were not so impartial in my viewing of this ball game, Myron, I'd say there's a gigantic conspiracy out here to penalize us the length of the field at times.
Well, I think they're calling Grossman for pushing off, but in any event, the Steelers lose the touchdown. There was a 3-yard pass, a nice catch. It was thrown to Franco's inside. He had to come back a little for it, sort of twist around to make the catch, but it doesn't count. The ball is pushed back to the 17.5-yard line. And by the way, Jack, Andy Russell's interception, the second for the Steelers today, ties the Steelers for the league lead in interceptions with Oakland and Kansas City. So if they intercept one more tonight, they not only lead the league in sacks, but also in interceptions.
3-12 for the Steelers defense. Ball is back at the 17.5-yard line. It's going to be third down and 17.5 yards to go. Saints go back to their normal defensive alignment. Fuller, Myers are back in. Jackson, Vivian Lee. Merlo, Fetterspiel, and Coleman. Billy Newsom, Bob Pollard, Derlin Moore, and Joe Owen. And they're awaiting the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are huddling, discussing the situation. Fetterspiel has been over to talk with the coaching staff, and he's back out there. And Terry Bradshaw completes his conference with Chuck Knowles. 7-0 ball game, 2:47 to go in the first half. Pittsburgh is dominated, but there just hasn't been that much scoring. And I might point out that this is going to be a short week because the Houston Oilers are at Three Rivers Stadium next Sunday afternoon.
And they dropped a 10-0 ball game to Dallas yesterday, a very controversial play apparently. The Oilers insisting that on the Dallas touchdown, which was a dive from the 1-yard line, the Oilers insisting the Dallas ball carrier did not make it into the end zone. But anyhow, it ended Houston's 4-game winning streak.
Frank Lewis to the left, Ron Shanklin to the right. Running backs are Harrison Davis, Bradshaw the quarterback for the Steelers. On the 17.5-yard line, it is third down. And Bradshaw backpedals straight back deep. Now runs forward over the 20, the 15. He's down to the 10, the 5. He's going in for a touchdown. Bradshaw carries it down the middle. Gave it a little juke to the right side at the 10. Cut back, went right straight down the middle of the Saints defense. Galloped into the end zone standing up, and he is being congratulated. Franco Harris with his arms around Terry B. And the other members of the offensive unit over there saying a great job. Well done. And Bradshaw took advantage of that situation. He's carried 7 times tonight, 67 yards, and now has added a touchdown. And for Terry Bradshaw, that is his second touchdown of the season. Roy Girella is going to try for the point, and there is a problem, so they've taken a timeout. And I'm not exactly sure what that problem is. Bobby Walden is going over there short a man. Well, this happened too many times this year.
But it gives me an opportunity to point out that Bradshaw made a great move at the 7-yard line on linebacker Joe Fetterspill. Left Joe Fetterspill thrown on his face. He had the shot at Bradshaw. He couldn't take the move, and Bradshaw scored.
All right, Girella will try for the point. Walden the holder. Pittsburgh leading 13-0. The ball is down. Girella kicks it with the wind. It is good. It's a 14-0 ball game in favor of the Steelers, who, after Russell's interception, took the football 30 yards in 5 plays, and Terry Bradshaw, after the penalty, taking it back to the 17.5-yard line, moved it straight down the middle. He dropped straight back to throw, and then ran with the football, and as Myron told you, gave it a great move right in the middle of the run, right inside the 10-yard line, and then galloped into the end zone unmolested. And that was enough to make the New Orleans Saints fans cringe in their seats.
And Terry knew he had to go all the way. He had to right up the middle of the ball field. Of course, if he hadn't gone all the way, they probably would have had an easy field goal, but he wanted that touchdown. The Steelers have used up 2 of their 3 timeouts now. There are 2 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in this first half. I don't think the use of their timeouts will prove to be important.
Stevens and Spencer are deep, and Howard Stevens under the ball 5 yards deep in the end zone. He'll kneel with it. Howard Stevens will take the automatic touchback. 2 minutes, 32 seconds to play in the second quarter. Pittsburgh 14, New Orleans nothing. And the Saints are ready to move on offense, right to left here. Rather cool night in New Orleans.
But it's in the 30s by now, Dak, don't you think?
I wouldn't question it at all. Be good to get back to Pittsburgh tonight where it's warm and snowy, isn't it?
What, Lou? What? Are you a broadcaster on this team? What are you talking in this booth for? Lou Crick, our talkative spotter.
Here, you can use my microphone. Lou, what did you have to say?
They're playing ball down there.
They're playing football in New Orleans, for no gain whatsoever. Parker took the pass. He got back to the line of scrimmage at the 20, and Ham and Thomas were there waiting for him. At halftime, I'm going to resolve this this matter of microphone jurisdiction.
Well, I'll tell you something, Crick. You know, you better mind your manners. You're not any bigger than Howard Stevens. And he says, I'm not either.
Well, it's a good thing you're not flying home on the charter tonight, Myron, because you just might be without a seat.
Yeah, that's right.
Lucid see to that. First down, second down, 10 yards to go. New Orleans has stopped the clock with a timeout. The automatic timeout. Where's our commercial? Await the producer to inform you there's a break in the action. We'll be right back.
Okay, 2 minutes remaining in a half. Here go the Saints from their own 20-yard line.
Second down, 10 yards to go, slot right formation. Now they split. They bring Joe Parker wide to the left and move their slot back in closer on the right side. Manning rolls left, throwing to the near side. He overthrows his target. Good night. At the 39-yard line, Parker at the sideline needed a step ladder, and the crowd is really wild. He threw it all the way into the Saints bench area. Mike Wagner with a pretty good cover on Parker. Could be that Archie Manning decided to just let it go that way rather than risk it. An interception at that point could give them much trouble. He is 2 for 9 with 2 interceptions and a total of 8 yards passing tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, he was a great prospect. They say he was hurt by the lack of a quarterback coach here. They've now got Lamar McCann in working with him, and supposed to have helped, but tonight he's off the ball. He's inaccurate.
Archie Manning back to throw. Manning fires the ball. Look out. It is intercepted. Picked off. The Steelers have it running with the foot. Now it's just fumbled. They throws the ball down to the 32-yard line. The ball was picked off by J.T. Thomas, who was running with it. He fumbled the football.
I think Edwards
Burnett wound up with the ball. J.T. Thomas.
Glenn Edwards was the recovery, Jack.
Glenn Edwards made the recovery. J.T. Thomas intercepted. The ball is back to the 32-yard line. And it is going to be first down and 10.
And the Steelers now lead the league in interception.
Archie Manning made the tackle on the play. That was his contribution after throwing the interception. Here is Bradshaw, bootlegging, dropping back, firing on the far side. Almost not quite. Steve Davis can't hold it at the 15-yard line on the run. Wayne Coleman coming over to cover. Bradshaw's 12th pass of the night. Manning has now thrown 3 interceptions. J.T. Thomas, who picked it off, gets his 5th interception, tying him with Glenn Edwards. And the Steelers now have 23 interceptions on the season, as Myron told you. That brings them right up to the top. Second down 10. Clock shows a minute 36. The height and the distance here made it almost impossible for me to tell what had happened after J.T. ran into some people down there. Gigantic scramble for the football. With end to the left, Lewis. Flanker right, Shanklin. Bradshaw drops straight back. Bradshaw look. Plenty of time, throws for the end zone, and the crowd there that's batted away incomplete. His target was Ronnie Shanklin. Double coverage on him from Ernie Jackson and Tom Myers. And the pass is deflected over the end line and out of play. Clock is down to a minute 27. Ball comes back to the 32-yard line in possession of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're down 10 yards to go in New Orleans territory.
I'll tell you, Bradshaw could have caught a bus. He had so much time to throw that ball. Did they ever give him protection?
Shanklin is out and Lynn Swan is in. Number 1 draft choice, rookie from Southern California. He's been hampered by an injured finger. He splits right. Lewis is out to the left. And we got Bradshaw back and throwing to the near side. And on a comeback at the sideline, incomplete at the 21, as Swan, covered by Ernie Jackson, could not hold on to the football, appeared to be over the sideline anyway. And Bradshaw's 14th pass of the night goes incomplete. And now with the wind behind him, Roy Jarrell is going to try to add 3 more points to the Pittsburgh lead. Minute 22. This will be some kind of a kick. Bobby Walden kneeling at the 39. It would make it a 49-yard kick. But the wind, for whatever it might be worth down there, is behind Jarrell. And Jarrell will be kicking from the 39. A 49-yard attempt, and Jarrell has it in the air, straight away, and it comes down short. He missed it. A little too much distance. So the field goal try is unsuccessful. Somebody has let loose a St. Bernard dog down on the field. Let the mascot of the Saints. Crowd is going crazy as an Orleans Saints decide to
Bobby Scott at quarterback.
That's right. They're making a switch. It is going to be Bobby Scott at quarterback. They're playing the quarterback game in New Orleans tonight at the 33-yard line. Here's the handoff. Carried forward over the left side by Jeff Phillips, fighting his way to the 34-yard line. Dwight White and Jack Cam on the stop. Bobby Scott, 3-year veterans from Tennessee, goes 6'1", 200 pounds, 25 years old. Second down and 8 yards to go. Clock is turning with 54 seconds to play in the first half. Joe Parker to the right, Bob Newland to the left, and a pair of setbacks. Bobby Scott directs the attack. Gives the ball out to Alvin Maxson. Finds no running room as he is hit solidly by Steve Burnett. Coming into the middle of the line. Penalty marker down. Up at the New Orleans 43-yard line. Apparently against Pittsburgh because J.T. Thomas is stamping his foot in disgust. Personal foul against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Referee at the 35-yard line is ready to step off 15 yards. New Orleans would have a minimum of first downs tonight had it not been for the penalties. 2 automatic first downs. This one will give the Saints a first down. The Saints may have more yardage in penalties in their favor than they've got in total offense. It'll be interesting to see. And this takes the ball up near the 50-yard line, just across the Pittsburgh territory. Pittsburgh has been penalized a total of 65 yards. And we'll take a look in a few moments at the Saints' total offense. Here they come out of the huddle. They have 8 yards rushing, 29 yards, or rather 8 yards passing, 29 rushing, so they have made more by penalties than they have in their offense. Here is the pass to the far side and complete. The Pittsburgh 39-yard line, a great rush that time put on the quarterback. Now we've got a penalty marker going down. The pass is complete. This one is going to be after the play as Bob Newland went down and over to the sideline, and J.T. Thomas made the defensive play on him. He caught the pass at the sideline. Should have a first down, but back upfield, the penalty marker goes down, and there's a discussion. We're awaiting the preliminary signal. Personal foul, New Orleans. Personal foul, Pittsburgh. They say no play. Now they're going to keep the ball down there. The official signaled offsetting penalty. Jack, now he's signaling a first down.
They may have thrown Steve Burnett out of the game. I'm not sure, but he's off the field on the sideline. I think he was involved in the monkey signs on the line.
So the offsetting penalties do not involve the play, coming after the play. And he did not give us that indication. Here's a pass for the man coming out of the backfield, Howard Stevens, going to the 35. And New Orleans will use the timeout. Tackle made by Lauren Cave. So what we saw, simply offsetting penalties after the play. Mike Wagner was hit with a personal foul. As far as the Steelers are concerned.
Yeah, Steve probably left because of the 33 defense, the pass protection defense, that's all. He was not thrown out of the game.
We got our fourth linebacker, Lauren Caves, in there. So, Scott is now 2 for 2 for 16 yards on the evening. Archie Manning, 2 for 10 with 3 interceptions, 8 yards. And the Saints have moved the ball to the Pittsburgh 34-yard line. It is second down and about 5 yards to go. 26 seconds remaining to play in the first half. And they are warming up their field goal kicker. That does not show a great deal of confidence in their offense, does it?
You know, kind of an unusual thing, taking your quarterback out with only 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining in the first half. You don't see that very often. Usually if the quarterback's showing sour, why the coach will ride with him at least till halftime and then make the switch. But we've seen it done the other way tonight, and I don't believe Manning was hurt, so,
No different. Gary Gerson says, in effect, John North is unusual.
Well, he was accused of being too conservative, but in recent weeks he's been anything but.
Second down 5. Bobby Scott, the quarterback now, in place of Archie Manning, has completed 2 passes. Scott drops straight back now, rolls right, looks, throws, and he overthrows into the band. That one could have been caught by an usher and carried out into the street. Bob Newland was the intended receiver. L.C. Greenwood was on the rush in pursuit of the quarterback, and that will be the 13th pass by New Orleans. Clock down to 19 seconds. 3rd down and 5 for the Saints. Operating at the Pittsburgh 34, Steelers leading 14-0. And the way this first half is moved, this might be one of those Monday night games that goes until 12:30 at night.
Why are you rubbing your hands together? Are you cold?
My hands are cold. Bill Butler is in as a running back. Here is Bobby Scott dropping back and gets the ball away. It is broken up, I believe, by Andy Russell. Had a great rush on him. Andy Russell got a hand on the ball.
Yes, Andy Russell had the blitz going, and he was right on top of Scott. Scott just got rid of it and wanted no parts of it.
We'll be back after this pause on the Steelers Football Network. New Orleans, 4th down. Bobby Scott drops back. Scott fires down the middle, and it is deflected. Brent Edwards up in the air to get a hand on a pass intended for the tight end, Paul Steele. Around the 25-yard line, it is incomplete. And the Steelers take over with 11 seconds remaining on the clock in the second quarter. Myron, to run over those passing figures for you, Archie Manning, we show with 2 for 10, 3 interceptions, 8 yards. And Scott, 2 out of 5 for 16 yards. Giving New Orleans 4 out of 15 on the night with 3 interceptions. Terry Bradshaw gives the ball to Franco, trying to get outside of the left. Cuts back. He's coming forward over the 40 and up to the 43-yard line. Franco Harris short of a first down by about 2 yards. Clock is going to run out. Down to the end of the first half of the ball game. The score is Pittsburgh 14, New Orleans nothing. Okay, we're ready to kick off. Jarrella tees it up at the 35-yard line, and we've got New Orleans aligned to receive the kickoff. Here comes the official out with the football. You had a reminder over there, did you?
Yes, a reminder that Pirate season tickets for 1975 are now on sale for as little as $52.50. They make great Christmas gifts. And now Jarrella will put the ball down, and with the wind at his back, probably baited deep into the end zone as he did the last time, taking advantage of that strong wind. Jack has put on an overcoat.
That's right. I got it on now. For sure. Jarrella is ready. I don't know what's going on, but I got a feeling that we're having an enforced timeout here. Lengthened so that certain people can get their commercials on the air. Here comes Jarrella. And he kicks it very high. Coming down relatively short to the 8-yard line. Howard Stevens, the 15 to 20. Caught and brought down as he crosses the 25-yard line by Reggie Garrett. Reggie Garrett becoming the #1 headhunter of the Steelers at 6'1", 172. A streak of lightning from eastern Michigan. Ties into that little fella and brings him down at the 27-yard line. A 19-yard return.
And Reggie, of course, is a rookie. He was a free agent. His brother plays for the Saints. The Saints tried to sign him, I understand. But no, he didn't sign with his brother's team. He signed with the Steelers. And that was a surprise because they were deep in receivers.
Bobby Scott is back again to run the New Orleans attack. Slot right from the eye. Gives the ball off. Alvin Maxton carrying to the near side, and it's corralled, knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Mel Blunt in fine pursuit, aided by Andy Russell. Blunt, the 5-year veteran from Southern U, 6'3", 205 pounds. Southern played Grambling on Saturday on this field here, and they drew a tremendous crowd of supporters for this big Southern Football Classic. Grambling won it 21-0 before 74,000 people here.
Yeah, and they had about that many for Tulane, LSU at Baton Rouge, and now the crowd of over 70,000 here. All this on the weekend.
67,000 at Baton Rouge, 74,000 here, 70,000 tonight. Football flourishes in the south end, and the handoff to Jess Phillips. Got short of the line of scrimmage and fights his way forward, and he'll pick up yardage. Andy Russell finally brought him down at the 33, a 2-yard gain. It's going to be third down and about 3 yards to go. Lou, correct. If we fly out of here, what, about 12:30 New Orleans time? What are we, 2.5-hour flight back? 2 hours? That takes us back in there at about 2:30 to 3 New Orleans time, 3:30 to 4 Pittsburgh time. It's a lovely way to spend an early morning. Here is Bobby in trouble. He is sacked back at the 20-yard line, and the man who had him was Joe Green. Joe Green had him by the arm and was in the process of bringing him down, and Elsie Greenwood came over to help out, but Joe Green will get the sack. And for the mean man, that is his second tonight, gives him 9.5 on the season. Okay, Edwards and Swan are deep, and Tom Blanchard will punt. For New Orleans, the ball is at the 19-yard line. Saints offense has been pretty well corralled throughout the evening. Blanchard standing at his own 6. Gets the snap, hits the football, low trajectory, good punt. Backing up to take it. Lynn Swan at his own 38, running wide with the outs to the far sideline over the 45 to 50. Look at his speed. Here he comes down the sideline over the 30 to 20. Swan is going to go all the way for a Pittsburgh touchdown. Lynn Swan took the punt at his own 38-yard line, hit it to the far sideline, and they had a lane for him. And Swan turned on the speed. That's the first really good look we've seen at the rookie from Southern California, 62 yards on the return. And the big play. What do you think of that one?
Well, you may even give him 2 more yards on it, Jack. He may have been back even at the 36.
Right.
Joe Green took a guy out on the far sideline, Bill Butler. That was the guy who had the chance at one, and Joe flattened him. I believe it was Joe.
Roy Girella kicks for the point after. Roy Girella hit the point after. Lynn Swan had scored an earlier touchdown passing in the season. This is his second touchdown of the year, second of his professional career. And the Steelers move out to a 21-0 lead. Now there's a break in the action at New Orleans. We'll be right back.
Well, the Saints, who last weekend whipped the Los Angeles Rams, now trailing the Steelers 21-0, and here's Girella's kickoff.
And he kicks it very well. End over end. Back into the end zone. Stevens bobbles it around, falls on it for the automatic touchback. Roy Girella kicks it very well. The Steelers. That brings Jack Hart, slender ski retriever, out on the field. And Jackie is back over to the other side. How many years has he been with the Steelers? He has to be
Wally, I don't know, but I mean, look it up. That's a good
veteran Jack
question.
Hart, who handles the equipment in charge of the field, and
Well, I grew up with Art Rooney Jr., and they used to stuff each other in garbage cans over on the north side.
is that right?
Yeah.
All right, New Orleans ready to go, trailing 21-0. Bobby Scott, the quarterback. Second man through, takes the football. That's Jess Phillips, and he'll pick up about 3.5 yards on the play. Tackle made by Jack Lambert, rookie from Kent State. And as I understand it, a potential candidate for Rookie of the Year.
Who's that? I was looking up how many years Jack Hart's been with the Steelers.
Jack Splatt.
I can't find it. Oh, Jack Splatt's a good one.
3-yard gain, 3rd and 7. Now they have a flanker to the right, split end to the left. And here's the handoff, going to Maxson this time, coming to the left, turns the corner out over the 30, the 35, and he goes to the 36-yard line. Maxson, Len Edwards making the stop. First down for the Saints, 13-yard gain. Saints are doing something that might make a profit out of me. They're going to bread and butter football now. Not that I would even propose to be in a class with John North at mapping strategy, not even near it. But I'll tell you one thing, they've done better throughout the evening when they've stuck to good, solid football and left the razzle-dazzle behind. Now, here they are again with a straight flanker, right, split end left, 2 setbacks, and the quarterback Scott back to throw, and he fires too high, near side. Intended for Joel Parker at Pittsburgh 43 on the sideline. He was covered by Glenn Edwards. Pass was thrown too high, carried out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, he wanted to go to Alvin Maxton, a running back, coming out of the backfield, but he was picked up very nicely by the Steeler defense, so got through a little deeper than he wanted to.
What if you check, Myron, you've got the glasses on who's doing all that throwing over there behind the Steeler bench here. Maybe they're just keeping Terry Bradshaw warm.
Yeah, that's Bradshaw. He's just staying warm.
Got backed up short. They're after him. He throws complete under pressure. Beautiful pass down to the Pittsburgh 48, shot by Paul Steele. Great rush. I want to look back here and tell you about it. Dwight White was in there coming in on the play. Glenn Edwards made the stop downfield at the Pittsburgh 43-yard line. A 21-yard pass play with Paul Steele, the rookie from Michigan, the receiver. Now, Scott, very cool that time, had a big rush on him. Had that pass on the money. So the Saints have advanced into Pittsburgh territory. Slot right formation. They run out of the eye this time. And to give us to the inside back, Alvin Maxton, plowing straight ahead, down over the 40s, down to the Pittsburgh 39-yard line. Joe Green and L.C. Greenwood team up on the stop for the Steelers. And the Saints will pick up about 4 yards. Call it second down and 6.
I do not think we'll see Arrowhead Holmes at all tonight, and that's a blow to him because he wants that Monday night exposure. He wants that publicity that brings all pro runners. That's why he grew his hair in the shape of an arrow. So he's missing out on the Monday night exposure.
Rod McNeil, a rookie running back from Southern Cal, is in the ball game for the first time. He'd been listed as injured. And the handoff is to McNeil. Gets short yardage. They had said that he would probably not play. Burness and Lambert work together on the stop. 2-yard gain on the play. Third down and 4 yards to go for New Orleans. And they're at the Pittsburgh 37.
Steve Burness doesn't look like a drag down there tonight, does he? He's not hurting the Steelers one bit.
Am I wrong in recollection? Was he one of the veterans who had reported in and played in this game down here before, played extremely well against the Saints?
Yeah, I believe it was here. I think that was the game right here.
Had a good game here. Here is a sack back at the 50-yard line. And it's Steve Burness. We were just talking about him. I would say that was a very timely conversation. They will spot the ball at the 49-yard line. And a sack for Steve Burness.
The fifth sack of the ball game for the Steelers. Holy cow, they've got a total of 45 on the season.
Let's pause now for station identification.
Hello, this is Larry O'Brien, and I'm right here every morning to start your day the fun way.
WTAE AM and FM Pittsburgh.
Saints in punt formation. Tom Blanchard will kick the football. Edwards and Swan are deep for Pittsburgh. And here's the punt coming in short. Inside the 20, bounding over to the side of the field, touches the Saints. Picked up by Swan, dives forward, gets 2 or 3 yards out of it to the 14-yard line. That goes to show you what will happen if you let the ball bounce around. Lynn Swan, an opportunist. And he just picked it up and dived forward for about 3 yards, and Don Coleman got on him and stopped him. And the ball is just short of the 14-yard line. Got a break in the action down on the field. We'll be right back.
For you and your hard-earned dollars. You can whip inflation now at Basco Catalog Showroom. For 20 years, Basco has been one of America's toughest inflation fighters. And now, during Basco's giant 20th anniversary sale, prices are down again on brand-name merchandise. You know the names: Sunbeam, General Electric, Hamilton, Spalding. Come in right now. Fabulous savings on appliances, radios, giftware, even jewelry. Basco doesn't just talk about inflation. Check Basco's prices and compare. You can whip inflation right now during the giant 20th anniversary sale. Now underway at all Basco showrooms. Check your white pages for the showroom nearest you.
9 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The Steelers leading 21-0, and here's Jack Fleming.
John McMakin, the veteran at tight end who was injured throughout much the early part of the season, is into the ball game. Handoff is given to Steve Davis, and Big Steve plows just off the left side out over the 15. He'll pick up about 5 yards, runs into Alex Price. Second-year man from Alcorn State, and linebacker Joe Fettersfield. 3-year man from Kentucky. The ball is marked just short of the 19-yard line, a gain of 5, second down and 5 to go.
I'm not saying that this game is locked up, but I want to toss some interesting figures your way as soon as I have an opportunity.
All righty. We've got Shanklin set to the right, Frank Lewis out to the left. Shifts him off the I formation. Here's Bradshaw giving the ball to Franco to the outside of the left. He's trapped, cuts forward, runs through people over the 25, the 30, and on the 32-yard line. Has he fumbled it? He has, and New Orleans recovers. Lost the field from it. Franco lost the football. And the New Orleans Saints come up with it. First turnover of that nature tonight for the Steelers. And New Orleans has the ball at the 31.5-yard line. Jim Merlo recovered the fumble for the New Orleans Saints. And they have a 1st and 10 at Pittsburgh 31.5.
Franco, who ran for over 100 yards against Cleveland, fumbled several times in that game, was afraid he wasn't concentrating enough. He's fumbled again now.
All right, Bobby Scott is running the New Orleans attack, and he hands the ball off to Alvin Maxson. Getting outside of the left, over the 30, the 25, the 20, breaks the tackle, goes to 15, and runs all the way down to the 12-yard line. Alvin Maxson running through people, shook off Bell Blunt. Finally, Mike Wagner got him. He run through Jack Ham, who gave him some help on the play, and Elsie Greenwood was over there. 18-yard run. Alvin Maxson, the rookie from Southern Methodist University, carrying the mail for the New Orleans Saints. And Maxson came into this ball game with 300 yards total on the season. He's now 11 carries for 63. To give to Maxson again, nowhere to go this time. I'll tell you what, a submarine defender slowed him down. L.C. Greenwood. And then Green grabbed him. But L.C. is the man who put the initial hit on him. Give him 2 yards as he struggled around in the pileup. It's 2nd down and 8.
This Maxson is a chunky rookie out of SMU, 5'11", 205. Chuck Noll very impressed with him on film, says he runs with a lot of power.
Bob Newland lines up out to the right as a flanker. Joel Parker splits from the near side. And the handoff is given to Jess Phillips, running to the right, and he's in trouble at the 10-yard line. Jack Ham got the first lick at him. Joe Green helps him up off the floor of the stadium at the 10-yard line. So it's going to be a gain of about a yard. 3rd down and 7 for the New Orleans Saints. And they bring the little guy, Howard Stevens, onto the field. 5'5", 165 pounds.
The runt. The runt. I'm one. I can call him one.
Split end left, flanker right. Running back set wide. And here's Bobby Scott back to throw. Lobs it into the end zone. Too long, and it's taken Mel Blunt right up against the wall. Blunt made the interception out of bounds. Incomplete pass. Joe Parker, the intended receiver, overthrown. And that took Blunt right up against the fence. I shouldn't say the wall.
Face first into that fence. He really hit that thing. I hope he's not hurt. Boy, I'll tell you something. The runt that time, 5'5", Howie Stevens. You should have seen him try to block White White. He was back there for pass protection, and he sort of freezed on Dwight a little and then ran for his right.
4th down, 7 at the 10-yard line. New Orleans going for it, trailing 21-0. Scott is back, firing to the end zone, far side. He hits his man right at the goal line. Joe Parker has a touchdown. Threw into a crowd of people. Wow. J.T. Thomas was right there. It was Paul Field, the tight end, not Joe Parker. Right on the goal line, Paul Field, the rookie from Michigan. And so that is the first touchdown of the evening for New Orleans, and Field has scored his 2nd touchdown of the year. And And the point after try is up there. Bill McClard hits it. We have a 21-7 ball game with the Steelers in the lead. Steelers football continues after this brief timeout.
It is sold out, but there are plenty of 50-yard line seats at Buddy's in Market Square. The only place downtown for a 50-yard line seat to watch the Pitt-Penn State game on Buddy's Advent Video Beam life-size television from Opus One. And after the game, join in the fun with the Good Time Clothes Horse Coach Joe Avizano. Remember, too, weekdays, Buddy's is a pleasant place to lunch and enjoy a libation. Buddy's, the only place to be after every game, or for lunch. Buddy's in Market Square.
Okay, the Saints have made it to the scoreboard. They now trail the Steelers 21-7. Just before they got that ball on a Franco Harris fumble and proceeded to go in for a score, I was about to say that while I'm not saying the game was locked up, it so happens that when the Saints scored 20 points last weekend to upset the Los Angeles Rams, it was the first time they had scored 20 points since 1970. And with the Steelers leading 21-0, well, you can almost think the game was locked up because that's what kind of offense the Saints have had. But here they come back with the score after the Franco Harris fumble, which was at the Steeler 32-yard line. They connected on a 10-yard pass to Paul Field, and now the Saints are ready to kick off. Jack?
Okay, we've got Steve Davis and Mel Blunt deep, and the Saints kick it very high, coming down short, taken by Blunt on the run at the 20 to the 25 to 30, and he runs into trouble. At the 32, goes down at the 33-yard line, and Don Coleman, first man to grab him, and the ball is out around the 33-yard line. Let's see where they uncover. We're about 2 miles away from that field. At the 33-yard line. 71,907 here tonight to view this ball game. So for the weekend, they put over 140,000 in here to see 2 games. Here's a handoff to Steve Davis. Good block for him, and then it closes down, and he comes down at the 35-yard line. Running out to the left, Billy Newsom made the tackle. Got a good initial block, and then the blocking folded. Picks up 2 yards, second down 8.
I'm sorry, Jack, but I don't buy that attendance figure. 71,907 means 10,000 empty seats, and if you can find 10,000 empty seats in here, I don't know. It looks like almost a full house to me. Huh.
Well, maybe they've got a few freebies in here tonight.
Could be.
Lynn Swan is in the ball game as a wide receiver for the Steelers. Frank Lewis is the other one. Shifting the running back. Bradshaw is back deep to throw. Bradshaw runs forward with the football. Picks up blockers over the 40, the 45, and brought down around the 47-yard line. Terry Bradshaw finally stopped by Joe Fettersfield. He'll have a first down. He has been a tremendous weapon with his timely running tonight. Pollard and Fettersfield on the tackle, and the ball is being spotted around the 47-yard line. John Stallworth is on as a wide receiver. 2 rookies, Swan and Stallworth for the Steelers.
Hey, Jack, I think Bradshaw has about 93 yards rushing. He might have a 100-yard game, won't he?
We have him unofficially over here, 8 for 81.
You know, he had 80 in the first half officially.
Right here is a handoff now to Steve Davis. Hitting straight ahead over the left side. He's up over the 50 and down to the 49-yard line. Bob Pollard makes the tackle on him, and they've crossed the 50-yard line, and a gain of around 4.5 yards. Second down and a short 6. So Bradshaw had 80, 6 for 80 in the first half, so we'll correct it.
I think he had a 13-yard gain on that play.
Yeah, that brings him up to about 93 yards.
Go for 100, Terry.
Second down, short 6. Just across the 50 in New Orleans territory. Steelers leading 21-7. Bradshaw fakes a handoff. Pitch out for left side to Franco Harris. And Harris cuts down to the 45 and onto the 44. He is short of a first down. Bradshaw running the rollout option to the left side with Harris trailing. Wayne Coleman makes the stop. We've seen just about everything in this ball game tonight.
You got the play all wrong. That was Billy Daniels pitching out to Tony Dorsett.
That's exactly what it looked like.
The fake to Davis, the pitch out on the option play to Franco.
Larry Brown enters the ball game replacing Lynn Swan. We have two tight ends in there, John McMakin and Larry Brown on 3rd and 1. 21-7, 3:29 to play in the third quarter. Steelers leading, ends tight, flanker right. Running back to Harrison Davis. Bradshaw giving to Franco, and he gets off the left side, gallops to the 40, breaks the tackle to the 35, and out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Finally chased out by Johnny Fuller, the strong safety. And he has a first down, and the Steeler running game is moving the football down to the 31-yard line, a 13-yard game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And both Davis and Harris running well tonight. Rocky Blyer is down there in reserve. But anytime you go into a game, you'll miss the services of Frenchie Fuqua and Preston Pearson, who are hospitalized back in Pittsburgh, and we do hope that they're out of there very soon. Lynn Swan is back into the ballgame. Franco is 11 for 69 yards tonight. Here is Bradshaw, a quick handoff inside, and taking the ball coming outside of the right is Franco, 20-15, and out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Johnny Fuller chased him out. That appeared to be a hit straight ahead. And suddenly, Franco veered to the outside, turned on his speed, and with his great running ability, swung to the sideline, and finally was chased out at the 11, a 20-yard game. And now New Orleans has fired this ball club. Leading 21-0, there might have been just a notion that it was wrapped up. But New Orleans comes down to score from 32 yards out, and now the Steelers come firing back, and they're doing it all well. Bradshaw lines them up at the 11-yard line. The running backs are set wide. And a give. And again, it is Franco hitting off the right side and diving down to the 7-yard line, maybe the 6. Billy Newsom on the stop. And Joe Fettersfield comes out of the play. And they're going to spot the football at the 7-yard line. Give Franco 4 yards from the 11 down to the 7. It's going to be 2nd down and 6.
Franco is just running beautifully. 2 plays ago, he gained 19 yards on a play that was all freelance. Headed up the middle, he took off for the outside. It was all freelance work. Beautiful. He has great lateral vision.
13 carries, 93 yards. Pitch out to Franco, running to the left. Needs help. He doesn't need it. He gallops over a man, goes inside the 5, and is down to the 3, maybe the 2, and Jim Merlo finally making the tackle on him. Tom Myers up on the play. Harris that time appeared to have no chance to get through as they closed in on him, and he carried it under his own power. He's down to around the 2-yard line. And Harris is still down on the turf over there, and he may be hurt. Getting up slowly. He's okay, I think. And they're going to measure at the 2-yard line to see whether or not Franco Harris has picked up the first down. In the meantime, goal line defense time for New Orleans. And the Saints bring on Don Coleman. They bring on Steve Bumgardner. They come out on the field with Andy Doris, and they bring out the smaller men and go to the bigger lineup defensively at the goal line. They have measured, and Pittsburgh is short of a first down by inches. It's going to be 3rd down. Inches to go for a first down. And a little less than 2 yards to go for a touchdown. Pittsburgh leading 21-7 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the third quarter. Lynn Swan is out, and Larry Brown and John McMakin, the 2 tight ends, are there. John Stallworth is the wide receiver. Stallworth flanks out to the near side. Stallworth out of Alabama A&M. All right, the Steelers lined up at the 2-yard line, just inside the 2. And Bradshaw gives it to Franco, and he hits the Stonewall on the right side, flips off, and has the first down at the 1. It's solid resistance, ran into Jim Merlo, slipped off to the right side, and was covered as he went down at the 1-yard line. And the ball will be just inside the 1. Franco's worrying me to death, getting up slowly. Giving it the old Jim Brown treatment, coming up off the ground.
Well, what he's doing is having reclining conversations with the officials on where to spot the ball. While he's talking, he figures he doesn't have to be on his feet. That's taxing. He talks well in a reclining position.
Less than a yard to go. First down and goal for the Steelers. Moving at the goal line to our right. And here's Bradshaw rolling out to the left and firing into the end zone for a touchdown. Hitting Larry Brown.
Oh, my.
The Saints defense bunched up in the middle. Just exactly the one play that you wouldn't expect to see. A rollout to Bradshaw's opposite side. The right-hander turned and flipped the ball to Larry Brown in the far corner of the end zone, wide open for the touchdown of beauty.
It was a pass good for 18 inches. That's what it was.
Here is the extra point try by Roy Girella. At the 10, the ball is down. Girella kicks it. It is good. Pittsburgh 28, the New Orleans Saints 7. Girella had a gathering of civilians and players around him down on Canal Street last night, right outside the hotel, just standing and talking. It was still warm. That was before the rain came. And I stopped to talk to him. I said, "You look like you might be out here peddling roasted chestnuts or something." Had a big crowd gathered around him. A very interesting atmosphere here in New Orleans, where within an area of just a few blocks, you can see several thousand people in all different sizes, shapes, and all sorts of attire. And I think you'll have to admit it's an oddity to come here.
Yes, indeed. And Roy Girella is very business-oriented, and for all you know, he might have been peddling roasted chestnuts.
He might have been selling somebody the land that the Marriott stands on. That drive went 67 yards in 10 plays. Beautifully executed touchdown drive for the Steelers, scoring on the pass to Larry Brown. And here's Girella kicking off. High and long. 5 yards deep in the end zone. Bobbled around by Jess Phillips and finally chased down out of bounds. They will put it in play at the 20-yard line on the automatic touchback. A minute and 3 seconds remaining in the third quarter in this Monday night football show at New Orleans. The Pittsburgh Steelers leading 28-7. Needing a victory tonight to keep pace with the Cincinnati Bengals, who are in pursuit. With their victory yesterday, moved to within a game of the Steelers. And a win tonight here in New Orleans, where the Saints have been particularly tough on their home turf. Just be a tremendous accomplishment coming into the home stretch of the season.
You think Bradshaw's won the quarterback job?
Let's say on the basis of tonight's performance, he has to have won something beautiful. Here they are. The pass fired to the right flat area to the 20-yard line. Alvin Maxson pulls it in. He's immediately belted. Very short gainer. Jack Ham makes the stop. 1 yard gain on a long pass out to the right. I show New Orleans 7 for 20 passing and 3 interceptions by the Steelers. Let's see how that matches up. Manning 2 for 10 and Scott 5 for 10, so that is 7 for 20 with 3 interceptions. All right, Bobby Scott is the quarterback, drops back and fires downfield too high. His man up at the 40 was Joe Parker, and the defensive man back there, J.C. Thomas, could not get near the football. Jack Ham dropping back was not there. It was overthrown, an incomplete pass. Going to be third down and 9 yards to go with 25 seconds remaining in the quarter.
And when the Steelers get the ball back, I hope Franco will continue to roll, because he's going for his 6th consecutive 100-yard game, and he only needs to average a little less than 100 per game from here out to have a 1,000-yard season.
15 carries tonight for 99 yards.
He'll make it.
He'll make it. And Scott drops back. Scott throws complete to the 35-yard line. Paul Steele, the tight end, fights his way forward to the 37. Paul Steele, the receiver. The Steelers converge. Mike Wagner is there. Glenn Edwards is there. At the 37-yard line, the New Orleans Saints have picked up a first down, and Bobby Scott has completed the 8th pass for the Saints tonight. The gun sounds the end of the third quarter at Tulane Stadium in New Orleans to score Pittsburgh 28, the Saints 7.
Well, what's the situation? The Saints now have a first down at their own 37-yard line. And so far in this ballgame, Terry Bradshaw has thrown for 2 touchdowns. He scored one himself on an 18-yard dash up the middle. So he's having a pretty big night. Statistically, well, he's 6 for 15 throwing the ball, but he's had a few dropped. He had a few dropped in the first half, so he would be up there around the 500 mark with a little better help, but we're not complaining. Here we go.
All right, Scott at quarterback. Bobby Scott on the long count drops back. He throws to the near side. Almost intercepted at the 44-yard line on the pass intended for Paul Steele. Jack Ham came in front and broke it up and almost intercepted. Now that is Bobby Scott's 13th pass of the night. And Gary Gerson points out that he's played very little this season. Had not performed in the last 4 ball games or so. And looking at the stats, he had thrown only 25 passes over the course of the season, and tonight he has thrown 13 already. So he is seeing the maximum amount of work that he has experienced in a single game during the course of the season. So a handoff, ball carried by Alvin Maxson, and Maxson is nailed short of the line of scrimmage. So on the draw, Maxson comes forward, does not make the line of scrimmage, and Steve Burnett and Glenn Edwards put the stopper on him short of the 35 by about a foot. It's going to be 3rd down and 12. And once again, I think it's important to note that New Orleans has done away with the razzle-dazzle here in the second half thus far. They've stayed pretty much with the bread-and-butter offense. Straight throw offense. Wide set this time. And Bobby Scott will throw. Firing downfield, and it is almost intercepted. Juggles. 3-4 men may have touched it. Now let me see if I got this one straight. If my recollection is right, it came off the chest of J.T. Thomas. Thomas was there, and it hit his chest, and it boomeranged around, and was touched by Jack Lambert, and then to Jack Ham. All 3 of them. It was Thomas to Lambert to Ham. And none of them could hold on to it. And I'll tell you, Dwight White creamed the quarterback when he let that ball go. Ooh, did he cream him. Confirmation. Kick will carry left to right. And Tom Blanchard is the kicker. And we go deep with Edwards and Swan. Blanchard gets it away. Low trajectory, end over end. And Edwards wants it at his own 26. Running to the right. Swan letting the block. Goes to the sideline. Cuts the field over the 35. Leaks. Goes to the 40. Fights his way forward to the 44-yard line. Penalty marker down. Back downfield. Then Edwards returning. The tackle made by Bob Wicks on the far side. Saw a little speed on that one, too. And Swan out in front trying to cream somebody to get them out of the way. They looked for that lane over on the sideline where they'd been successful early in the evening. And now the officials are conferring to see what sort of grief they can bring to whom. And now we're going to have a mighty consultation. It is a personal foul slipping against the Steelers. How in the name of goodness could somebody be clipping that far downfield ahead of the play? But they weren't. Part of the foul was the New Orleans 43-yard line. 38-yard punt, a 13-yard return, and now a 15-yard mark-off from the spot of the tackle. Takes it from the 40 back to the 25. Our ball club has now been penalized a total of 80 yards on the night.
Well, the Steelers have been right up there, either leading the league or close to it in penalties all season. Do you suppose we have some nasty fellows on this team?
No, they play with pride and enthusiasm. Sure. And it's 1st down 10 at the 25. Bradshaw has them lined up in the eye. Saints in a 4-man front with 1 man pulled up on the left. Very tight. And a handoff to Steve Davis on a slant through the middle. Comes to the 29-yard line. Just short of it. Alex Price on the tackle for the New Orleans Saints. And it set the ball back to the 28-yard line. 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7.
Hey, Jack, are you flying back with the Steelers tonight?
Absolutely.
Shucks, I need a ride from the stadium to the hotel, and I'm not getting out of here till an hour after the game, and how am I going to get a cab? I thought maybe you could help. Ah, well.
I could hang around and flag one for you. Here's the handoff. Franco Harris nailed as he approaches the 30-yard line, gets short yardage. Alex Price and Billy Newsom on the tackle. You would pay my ticket back or get me on your charter tomorrow. I'd be most happy to stay over tonight just to see that I could flag down transportation for you.
Nope.
Harris has just gone over the 100-yard mark. 16 carries, 101 yards on the night. It is 3rd down and 5. Bradshaw taking a long count And he got the blitz. Bradshaw's back there, runs out of it out. If he can get outside, the flag is down. He doesn't make it. He is caught running to the right. And the man who caught him was Joe Fetterspiel. Flag's going down. Steelers are unhappy. And I'm telling you, Mike Webster, the fiery rookie from Wisconsin, is having a few things to say to the official. They're getting ready to mark something off. Let's see what they're going to do. I think the Saints are going to decline. They will take the sack. And we'll go into punt formation. And here come the Saints with their triple receiver set up downfield. Stevens, Spencer, and Farasopoulos. Okay, Walden standing back at his own 10-yard line. The deep man is the little guy, Howard Stevens, out of Louisville. Walden standing at his own 10, takes the snap, and the veteran from Georgia gets it away. And Stevens measures it. He's hit. The ball is flying downfield, and they're racing after it. Who's going to get to it? They dive. It's still loose. And it is picked up at the 20-yard line. The Steelers have the football. Steelers have the football at the 20-yard line. Now tell me, who hit that little guy outside?
Reggie Garrett, I do believe, and John McMakin recovered the fumble. Garrett hit him almost the instant the ball landed in his mitts. Ooh, he gave him a whack, and Reggie is a star of the special teams. No question about it. The Steelers take over at the New Orleans 20-yard line.
Steve Bungardner put the stop on McMakin. It didn't matter because the ball comes back. You cannot advance it, so it comes back to where he picked up possession at the 20-yard line, and what a lick. Now, I think that little fella is going to consider the fair catch in the future. Oh, wow. That was a beauty.
Was that Stevens back there on that play, Jack? I
That
didn't
was
know.
Stevens.
The little guy.
He took it and he got creamed. Hand off, left side, Franco, the 15, the 10, carries the man with him down almost to the 6-yard line. Sterling Moore hanging on for dear life, and Big Franco just carried him along. Let's see where they spot the ball. They take it in at the 7-yard line, a first down for the Steelers. So a gain of 13 yards on the play for Franco. His total is up to 114 on the night. Ball is at the 7-yard line. The clock turning with 11:55 to go in tonight's game, and the Steelers leading 28-7. Lining up in the I formation with Steve Davis at the top of the I. The inside back is Franco Harris. They shift. Harris to the right, Davis to the left. Terry Bradshaw goes back to throw. Bradshaw out into the right side area, completes it to Franco, puts his head down and goes to the 1-yard line. Franco just drifting out of the backfield. Have we got a penalty marker down? We do. Now what? Tackle made by strong safety Johnny Fuller after Franco had gone down to the 1-yard line. Holding against the Steelers. Well, down on the field, you see Webster is going out of his head. Webster throws his hands up in the air. He is beside himself.
He's a very religious fellow, Mike Webster. Reads the Bible faithfully, you know, for pleasure reading as well. You know, he's just a very articulate young fella, too. And right now, however, he's mad, and he would like to say some nasty things to the officials. But, oh, well, it sets the ball back to the 17-yard line, so it's time for Terry Bradshaw to run up the middle for a touchdown.
Those fellas in the Bible got bad officiating every now and then.
Yep.
It's prevailed down through the years. All right, John Stallers and Lynn Swan are the wide receiver. Harris and Davis are the running back. 10-yard mark off, and the handoff. There is a fumble, and New Orleans has picked up the football. Franco carrying it. Hit on the play by Bob Pollard. Wayne Coleman picks it up. Saints have it. And they've advanced the football back out to the 27-yard line. And we're going to be back after this pause on the Steelers football night. Well, we're ready for football again. Saints first and 10 at their own 27. Here's the pass. In and out of the arms of Paul Field at the 33. Bobby Scott had it on the nose. Last week, he narrated at Cleveland for you, the mass fighting in the end zone. Tonight, we have a rather chunky fella.
and fat.
Civilians were a little fat. He came running out on the field, pursued by about 3 police and some other guy who would apparently be of the security force. And he took them about 60 yards, came across the near side, collapsed on the track, and they proceeded to get him down and manacle his wrist behind his back and lead him out, and the crowd was booing. He'll become a local legend. Bobby Scott calling the signals. Draw, handoff, given to the little guy. Howard Stevens gets over the left side. And now we got a little fight coming up. Mike Webster and Paul Steele. Little exchange of fisticuffs. Ball's going to be spotted at the 32-yard line. And it's going to be third down and 6 yards to go.
Jack, a statistics that's a little disturbing. That last fumble by Franco was his 7th of the year, and 6 times the other team has recovered the football. 6 out of 7.
Third down, 6 yards to go. Bobby Scott directs the New Orleans attack. Here's Scott. Throwing sharply and hits his target at the 43. Joe Parker fights his way with a 45, fumbles the football. A scramble for it in Steeler territory. The Saints have it at the 47-yard line. Joe Parker, the receiver, finally recovered the football. Mel Blunt is vying for that ball after he made the tackle on Joe Parker, the rookie from Florida. They have a completed pass and a first down in Steeler territory.
Talk about a perfect find. Parker was being wrestled by a Steeler defender, and yet he dropped the ball, and it finds right back to him. It had to be a perfect find for him to get that ball back because he was still in a bear hug.
21-yard advance to the football. The Saints at the Steelers' 47. 9:47, the clock is turning. A slot right formation to the top of the eye. Stevens with the ball. He runs, and he goes to the 40-yard line. Mike Wagner upended him. Joe Green covering on the play. He advances the football about 7 yards down to the 40. Going to be second down and 3 yards to go. The Saints very definitely, thus far in the second half, have abandoned the razzle-dazzle type of attack that they were attempting to execute with Archie Manning in there. They've gone to a straight, more conservative offense. And here's the handoff, and it's to Alvin Maxson. He goes off the left side down near the 37-yard line. He may have a first down. Maxson takes the ball down close to a first down. Joe Green is at the bottom of the play. Steve Furness, and they'll take time to measure. Next Sunday afternoon, the Houston Oilers will be at Three River Stadium. In the earlier ball game, Pittsburgh defeated Houston 13-7. And the Oilers went on to win 4 in a row, and they were edged out of one this past weekend. As Myron was talking about earlier, by the Dallas Cowboys 10-0. And they come in next Sunday in an angry frame of mind, no question about it. New Orleans has missed the first down. First down still pending. And the ball is at the Pittsburgh 37. A victory for the Steelers tonight would up the Pittsburgh record to 8-2-1. Scott has thrown 16 passes, completed 8 for 83 yards and 1 touchdown. Now a very tight formation. 2 tight ends, the flanker pulled close on the right side on 3rd and 1. And Scott gives the ball to Alvin Maxson, running out to the left, turns the corner, and whips out of bounds at the 34-yard line. He has the first down. Hit over there by Mel Blunt. The crowd is reacting to something, Myron. What did they say?
Well, so is Jack Lambert. Maxson plowed into Glenn Edwards on the sideline, out of bounds, and knocked him flying, and Jack Platt came up alongside Maxson, and I suppose said to him, you know that wasn't necessary, and if you don't behave yourself, I'm going to splat you. But it was nothing really to get excited about.
First down 10. New Orleans with the football, 8:37. Here's Bobby Scott back to throw. Scott firing down the middle, almost intercepted. Lambert covers the play at the 19. The pass intended for Paul Steele. Now we got a flag down on the play. Personal foul. Pittsburgh robbing the passer. Joe Green. No, think it's White. White is upset. White is upset. We're either playing some particularly rough and strenuously volatile football tonight, or else we're getting jobbed here. One or the other, I say. 15-yard penalty. Ball down to the 19-yard line. 105 yards total.
With the score 28-7, I can take as many of these penalties as they can dish
Well,
out.
I'm not going to get myself exercised over the situation. And that man is much closer to the play than I am. I'm practically in the next county. I can see the Superdome better than I can see these ball players down in this field. New Orleans ready to go. 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 18. Scott fakes, drops back. Scott looks. He throws, and it is broken up. Down at the 3-yard line, Glenn Edwards broke up a pass intended for Joel Parker. Very alert defensive play, and it's going to be 2nd down for the Saints. And of all the various facilities to work out of in the nation, I happen to draw this one 3 times this year. And this is by far the best night. The other 2 were too hot, Myron.
Well, you're going to be in a Superdome next year, Dad.
Yes, sir. We may be back in this one before the year's over.
Yep, there's a thing called
You
the
make it to the
Super
big
Bowl.
one, that should be the final trip. Here's the handoff to the little guy outside of the list. Stevens cutting down over the 15 to the 10, and they finally get him out of bounds at the 10-yard line. 5'5", 165 pounds of dynamite. Now what have they done? Throwing the flag again? Crowd is cheering. Glenn Edwards and Jack Ham forced him out of bounds. The ball is marked into the 10. And they're short of a 1st down. 3rd down and 2 yards to go. And here come Len Garrett and John Beasley. Out come Joel Parker and Bob Newland. In comes Rod McNeil. Out comes Howard Stevens. And they line up tight and powerful on 3rd and 2. They give to McNeil, running to the left, trips up behind the line of scrimmage, dives forward, and the man who came through was Andy Russell. Now Russell's being jostled by one of the Saints. And the Saint in this case who is upset is Emmanuel Sanders. And he's trying to agitate our stockbroker.
Yes, Emmanuel goes 263 pounds, and I don't know what his beef was, no pun intended, because Andy made a great play underneath him to trip up the ball carrier. But Emmanuel reached out and took a poke at Andy. Shame on you, Emmanuel.
Timeout call for the New Orleans Saints, with the Saints at the 11-yard line. It is 4th down, about 2.5 yards to go. Saints trailing 28-7 with 7:43 remaining on the clock. And it's been an enjoyable night here at Tulane Stadium. Out there to give attention to the Steelers, the training corps, and Steelers football continues from New Orleans after this brief timeout.
7 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in the ball game. The Steelers leading 28-7, but the Saints are threatening. They're just outside the Steeler 10-yard line. A 4th down and 2 situation coming up. And incidentally, if the Steelers do make it to the playoffs, and it looks like they very well may, they will play the wild card team from the American Conference at home in the first playoff game. Okay, let's get back to the action on the field. Zach?
Okay, the Saints on 4th, 2.5 in Steeler territory, the 11-yard line. And the quarterback stumbles, rolling right, then throws his pass, and it is incomplete. Into the arms of Howard Stevens, and he was attacked defensively by Glenn Edwards. Ball got away from him, incomplete. The Steelers will take over. Bobby Scott recovered beautifully as he tripped and stumbled, rolling out of there. He is now 8 for 18 for 83 yards. 1 touchdown. Archie Manning went 2 for 10, so the Saints overall are 10 for 28. And they show a total of 91 yards passing. Steelers with the football at their own 11. You got Lindstrom to the right. John Stallworth out to the left. The running backs remain Franco Harris and Steve Davis. Bradshaw, bootlegs, rolls right. They're out there waiting for him. He puts his head down and dumps a couple of guys up to the 19-yard line. Bradshaw whipping on the rollout to the right side very quickly. He advances the ball from the 11 up to the 20, where they mark it a 9-yard gain on the play. And Terry B now has 102 yards on the night. He's going over 100 yards rushing. Here comes Rich Middleton in, replacing Jim Merlo for the Saints. Steelers out of the huddle. 2nd down and 1 yard to go. Shifting off the I formation. Bradshaw gives it to Franco, cutting left and then heading forward, and he should have the first down near the 22-yard line. Swings to the left, heads forward, and Bob Pollard and Joe Fetterspiel bring him down, and the ball is at the 22, and the Steelers have themselves a first down. 28-7 in favor of Pittsburgh. 6 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the ball game tonight at New Orleans. Next Sunday afternoon, we'll be on the air at 12:40 from Three Rivers. Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Oilers. And the return matchup between these two ball clubs. The following week, we go up Boston way to play the New England Patriots. And then close out against Cincinnati at home.
And you know, Jack, I started to say about the playoffs, the Steelers will be at home for the first one if they're in the playoffs against the wild card team. Then if Oakland wins their game, the Steelers have to play in Oakland. But if Oakland loses, the Steelers play the second game at home. Is that clear?
Not quite. We had to go out there last year. I thought we got both of them at home this year.
Nope, not necessarily.
Here's a handoff to Steve Davis. Davis breaks the tackle, going over the right side, and fights his way forward to the 25-yard line. Jim Merlo on the stop, and Johnny Fuller came up to help out. Looked as though they had him a little bit short that time, and he broke the tackle, a shoulder tackle, and came forward for a 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7. Davis is 11 carries for 45 yards on the night. Steelers have the ball at their own 25-yard line, leading 28-7. Stallworth, wide left, Swan wide to the right. The I formation. And here's Bradshaw. Quick flip into the right flat to Swan. He comes over the 25, and he's up to the 30. As his blocking formed in front of him out there, Jim Clack was over to help out on the play. Gordon Gravel was over there. Ernie Jackson broke through to stop him at the 31-yard line. 3rd down and a yard to go. Bradshaw tonight, throwing 16 passes, completing 7, having 2 interceptions. Here comes Larry Brown onto the field very quickly, and he becomes the second tight end. That means they send Stallworth wide to the right. 2 tight ends in the ball game. And off Steve Davis finds the hole over the left side and comes up to the 35-yard line. And the tackle executed for New Orleans by Tom Myers up for the secondary. And he had him around the ankle, pulls him down at the 35-yard line. Clock turning 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Many of the more than 70,000 people on hand have given up on the night and on the football game and decided to go home. Around the area, you can see them wrapping up their blankets. It's been a chilly night for the Southerners. You can't blame them. They're not accustomed to this. Here's Bradshaw rolling out to the right, and he's going to be in trouble. They got him, 3 of them. Man, they got a hit on him at the 33-yard line. Jim Merlo was over there. Ernie Jackson. And also coming out of it, Steve Baumgartner. And Bradshaw got a pretty good lick that time, but he weathered it. 2nd down and 11. 1-yard loss. And I don't want him losing yardage because we got him over 100 yards on the night. He's back to 101 now. 3 minutes, 40 seconds, the clock turning. I'd like to have you listening next Sunday afternoon for the Steelers and the Oilers. If you can't make it to the stadium, if you are going to the stadium, take your radio along. Back goes Bradshaw. Firing to the near side, and Stallworth reaches for it at the New Orleans 43, could not get the ball, covered by Vivian Lee. So it's an incomplete pass. I think that your afternoon at the stadium could be enlivened by some comments from Miracle Myron, our little guy who is now considering the possibility of entering pro football and becoming Pittsburgh's answer the New Orleans little fella. Howard Stevens, 5'5", 165, and Cope goes 5'5", 138. Now 3rd and 11. Bradshaw shifts. Franco a few steps to the left, and the New Orleans defense shifts. And Bradshaw is back to throw. They're after him. He gets the pass away, and it is wide of the intended receiver up the 45-yard line. That would be Johnny Stallworth with Vivian Lee covering. Incomplete pass. 4th down now. 11 yards to go. Walden is on to do his thing. 3 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the ball game. Pittsburgh 28, New Orleans 7. Bob Wicks is back deep. Different alignment here. Howard Stevens and Maurice Spencer. Spencer is in the middle. Wicks is to his left. Stevens is in the middle. Wicks to his left and Spencer to the right. Walden punts it. And it's coming down towards Stevens. And is down. Right around the 30-yard line. And down under that very quickly was Donnie Shell. Well, we have a break in the action down on the field, and we'll be right back. Jack Fleming, along with Lou Kreck here at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Myron Cope is going down to the dressing room. Lou, this gives you an opportunity to say something. What were you trying to say a while ago?
I asked Myron if it was 30 above or 30 below.
He got into a diatribe on you stealing his thunder there. Now they're shifting, putting a wing back to the left in the slot. And back goes Bobby Scott and firing downfield, completes it to the 50-yard line. Bob Newland pulls it in at the 50 and goes out of bounds at the Steeler 48-yard line, and they hit a big one. Mike Wagner covering over on the play. So the Saints pick up 23 yards. Ball is at Pittsburgh 47.5-yard line where they finally mark it in. This young fellow may have taken over the quarterbacking position for the Saints tonight. Charlie Davis has replaced Joe Green. So the big man from North Texas State gets the rest. And the handoff is given to Howard Stevens. Little running back, heads over the right side, runs into the arms, Vandy Russell and Jack Ham. And down he goes at the 45-yard line, gain of about 2.5 yards. That name Bobby Scott happens to be a mystery to you. He's in his 3rd year in the National Football League, and he came out of the University of Tennessee. Larry Sippa, you may recall, quarterbacked the mainly rookie team that played us in the preseason. He's our number 3 quarterback. Scott's back, firing to the near side, off the fingertips of a falling Bob Newland at Pittsburgh 28. Penalty marker is down. Newland coming to the near side, a 5-yard mark off and a 1st down. Defensive holding. Takes it to the 40-yard line. I think that's up about 110 yards in penalties against our side. So we've had quite an evening. 10 penalties. So the score, Pittsburgh 28, the officials 10, New Orleans 7. You want to keep score that way. 2 minutes, 23 seconds remaining in the ball game. This one is chalked up in the win column. Scott fakes as he drops back. Scott fires downfield. Leaping try at the 22-yard line by Bob Newland, unsuccessful. Up the cover, Mike Wagner had a shot at it, but it was too high and too hard. And it falls incomplete. 2 minutes, 18 seconds. Been a cold night in New Orleans. The temperatures had to drop into the lower 40s at least with a stiff wind blowing throughout the evening. They charged the holding to Jack Lambert on that previous penalty. Scott is 9 for 20, 107 yards and a touchdown. Lauren Taves is in as the 4th linebacker, replacing Steve Burnett. That's Pittsburgh 40 at a 2nd and 10. And back goes Scott with a flag down. Scott is hit as he gets rid of the football. Incomplete on the far side, intended for Joel Parker in the neighborhood of the Pittsburgh 20 with Jim Allen covering. Allen playing the right corner now in place of Mel Blunt is a rookie from UCLA, 6'2", 194 pounds. Now the consultation out at the 40-yard line. Pittsburgh is getting the option. They're calling an illegal motion penalty against The Saints declined by Pittsburgh. Andy Russell says we don't want it. It's 3rd down and 10. Saints have been hit with only one 10-yard penalty for holding. The crowd has diminished considerably. All right, here's Bobby Scott calling the signals for the New Orleans Saints, the Steeler 40-yard line. Scott takes. He's back and looking. Throwing, no, incomplete at the 30 in and out of the arms of Paul Steele, the big rookie from Michigan. Jack Lambert in hand covering did not figure on that one. Steele just simply could not hold the football. He dropped it. Big 6'4", 222-pound rookie from Michigan, and that pass was right on the nose. Steele drops it. Scott is 9 for 22, 107 yards and 1 touchdown. 2:08 to play in the ball game. On a Monday night in New Orleans. They break out of the huddle. Bob Newland to the right. Joe Parker wide to the left. Tight end is Paul Steele. Quarterback is Bobby Scott. He's back to throw and after him, and getting him is Dwight White. Mad Dog in pursuit. Gets the sack, and the Steelers continue to add to their tremendous number of sacks for the season, all the way back to the New Orleans 49-yard line. And that was a 4th down play, so the Steelers will take over at that point with 2:04 remaining in the ball game. The ball is at the New Orleans 49.5-yard line. Let's see what we have now. Lynn Swan is out, and Reggie Garrett is in. John Stallworth remains in. Garrett and Stallworth are the wide receivers. Running backs hold steady because they're going to rest Rocky Bleier apparently and not use him. And Bradshaw gives it to Steve Davis. He tries the right side, swinging outside of the right, goes down to the 48-yard line. Come to the 2-minute warning period in the ball game. There's a timeout on the field, and with a break in the action, we'll be right back. Percentages of both clubs. Here's a handoff to Steve Davis, running to the left, and he works his way down to the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Bob Pollard. Pittsburgh Steelers leading 28-7 are playing out the clock. Been no scoring here in this 4th quarter. Saints came at them gamely, and they changed their game plan considerably with Bobby Scott coming in as quarterback. Bradshaw's back. He was going to throw. He's going to run. Now he's throwing back to the opposite direction, the left, and completes the pass to the tight end, Randy Grossman, at the 35-yard line. Grossman is pulled down by Wayne Coleman and Vivian Lee. Bradshaw that time went back as though to pass, ran as though to run, saw he was in trouble, drew back in the opposite direction, and there was Randy Grossman, his first reception tonight. And they have a 1st down at the Saints 35-yard line. Clock turning with 51 seconds. So Bradshaw has completed the pass. And it's 1st and 10. Bradshaw is 8 for 19 now. Dave Rivas is in the ball game in the offensive line. Rick Russell is playing in that offensive line. And the handoff is carried straight ahead by Franco Harris. No. Reggie Harrison, new running back, sneaked into the ball game. And that's the first substitution we've had at running back tonight. Bob Pollard and Jim Merlo on the stop. The ball just inside the Saints 30. And they run out the clock. So we come down to the end of the ball game with the final score, Pittsburgh 28, New Orleans 7.